Starting out with a 5-star class, grinding monsters is all about the summons. In this world crawling with monsters, destruction is his stage, the dead are his assets, and he is the skeleton commander. Necromancy. Lu Chengyu, a former reserve platoon sergeant 2.5 years post-discharge. He was dozing off during class today. Just as he was about to close his eyes, a system interface suddenly popped up before him. To survive in a world of ruin. What is the best class, you ask? Make your choice immediately. Make your choice immediately. Please make your choice immediately. Lu Chengyu looked stunned. All sleepiness vanished instantly. He rubbed his eyes hard to confirm this was not a hallucination. Suddenly, an electric surge shot out from the overhead projector. The whole classroom went pitch black. The sudden darkness threw the students into a panic. Someone noticed. Even their phones were dead. And right at that moment, before everyone's eyes, appeared the same system interface as Lu Chengyu's. Only then did it click for him that what he saw was not just a hallucination. 15 seconds remaining. Flashing with a blinding light, countless cards descended from the sky. 2-star warrior, 3-star mage. This bizarre scene left everyone frozen in fear. Lu Chengyu furrowed his brow. Are we supposed to choose a card? 10 seconds remaining. But with so many cards, which one to pick became Lu Chengyu's biggest headache. Suddenly a scream came from behind. A long sword dropped right in front of Four Eyes. Looks like he already made his choice. Lu Chengyu knew time and tide waited for no man. He realized each card had a different star rating. If you have to choose, then you pick the one with the most stars. He decisively grabbed one from the pile. Class selection complete. 5-star necromancer. Initial class selection finished. Those who failed to choose, please wait for the next opportunity. Looking at the card fading in his hand, Lu Chengyu was dazed. Is that really it? Four Eyes is lucky to have a big sword. Why did not I get a single thing? Suddenly, the back door of the room was kicked open. Their head teacher stumbled in, weeping. Along with him was a small monster wielding a dagger. The monster was small, but its strikes were quick and precise. It stabbed repeatedly, and the teacher was finished on the spot. Everything happened too suddenly. Everyone was stunned. The monster let out a shriek and climbed off the teacher's back. Its vicious gaze sent everyone scurrying in panic. Lu Chengyu was originally sitting in the back, but now he was at the very front. He looked back at Four Eyes. After all, he was the only one in the group with a weapon. Who knew the guy was a total coward? Lu Chengyu silently cursed his whole family in his head. And right at that moment, that monster suddenly charged at him. Lu Chengyu's first reaction was to run, but barely a half step in, he remembered the teacher's tragic end. No way, I absolutely can't turn my back on it right now. Lu Chengyu pivoted on his right foot and delivered a roundhouse kick. The monster was knocked back several meters. Lu Chengyu grabbed the nearest stool and rushed forward. A smooth first blood after a quick skirmish. Now things have quieted down. Suddenly the system pings. You have hunted a goblin. Obtain 10 gold coins. Lu Chengyu eyes the system interface with curiosity, completely ignoring the panicked classmates behind him. The priority right now is to figure out what this system means. Could the world have turned into a game? Before Lu Chengyu could even finish that thought, the system prompt echoed once more. The dead shall fall under your command. Subordinates list. Goblin skeleton. Level 1. Lu Chengyu was stunned, and right at that moment, a puff of eerie green flame erupted behind him. A goblin skeleton emerged from the flames. Witnessing the scene unfold before him, Lu Chengyu finally understood. It turns out death is where I shine. Like drawing a 5-star card. If I did not know this guy was the protagonist, I would think he had some insane luck. Lu Chengyu summoned the goblin skeleton after his first kill. In that moment, he grasped the true meaning of the necromancer class. However, before he could study his skills any further, 2 more goblins burst into the classroom. Your undead awaits instructions. Lu Chengyu gritted his teeth and gave the order. Attack. Wipe them out for me. The goblin skeleton stood up, its eyes glinting, as if declaring its allegiance. The 2 new goblins looked totally baffled. Suddenly, the skeleton rushed toward them. Without the burden of flesh, it became faster, more agile. Even with an arm lopped off, it felt no pain. The goblin skeleton struck swiftly, holding its own against 2 enemies with ease. Lu Chengyu wanted to step in and end the fight quickly, but he had no decent weapon on hand. He turned and asked Han Hao to lend him the sword. But even though Han Hao is a grade A coward, he is incredibly stingy with his loot. Why should I give it to you? This is mine. I chose it. Lu Chengyu was speechless. If it is yours, why are not you out there? Seeing the kid would not budge, Lu Chengyu had to grab a chair again. While the goblins were distracted, Lu Chengyu hurled the chair at them. The skeleton goblin did not disappoint his master, seizing the chance for a double kill. You have hunted a goblin. You have hunted a goblin. Obtain gold coins. Obtain 10 gold coins. Obtain 10 gold coins. The one-armed skeleton lives up to its name. It slowly walked toward Lu Chengyu. Its wide eyes looked like they had too much mascara on. But Lu Chengyu was creeped out by its gaze, and told it to keep its head down. The goblin skeleton looked crestfallen. Was it unappreciated after all? Just then, A new system prompt appeared over Lu Chungyu's head. The dead shall fall under your command. Maximum number of subordinates reached. In a blink. In the blink of an eye, 2 more skeletons crawled up. Now Lu Chungyu had 3 subordinates. The crisis was temporarily averted, but people soon discovered a more serious problem. Phones were not working. No outside contact. Lu Chungyu seemed to sense something. He walked to the window and pulled back the curtain. Indeed, the whole world is suffering from the same catastrophe. Someone suggested leaving the classroom first, but once they reached the hallway, they realized it was crawling with monsters too. Fortunately, it was just some low-level goblins. Lu Chungyu ordered his subordinates to cover the rear, intending to lead the others out of the school building. Unfortunately, they were not exactly like-minded allies. When disaster strikes, it is every man for himself. The bunch of cowards scattered at the first sign of trouble, paying no attention to Lu Chungyu's orders. Lu Chungyu felt helpless. Whatever. Let them choose their own destiny. Even though he does not know the rules of this game yet, as long as he keeps fighting, his survival rate will increase. Plus, he has got his skeleton buddy to keep him company. But things can go south in an instant. One of the goblin skeletons got hit by their opponent. Its skull rolled directly to Lu Chungyu's feet. Your thrall has been permanently destroyed. Even though it was a 2-on-2 battle, Lu Chungyu still felt a bit anxious. Thankfully, the skeleton did not let him down, and successfully finished off the enemy. Just then, a level-up notification chimed. Looking at his status board, Lu Chungyu felt this was no different from a game. Just as he was about to click to check, the system sent a reward notification. System reward notification, stamina increased. Random selection confirm. System reward notification, random selection confirm. Random selection confirm. Random, please select an upgrade card. Confirm. Random, please select an upgrade card. Confirm. Randomly select 1 out of 5. 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 Confirm. Lu Chungyu was confused. What the heck? Isn't this supposed to be a starter cheat pack? But according to his understanding of games, first priority for players should be upgrading their skills. Skill acquired. Max thrall count +1. 2 more skeletons rose from the ground. Not much mana left. Recalling he only had 13 mana points left, Lu Chungyu could not help but smile. Lu Chungyu laughed. Lu Chungyu laughed. Hey, looks like you guys were not such expensive items after all. 1 warrior is worth 1,000 troops. That is the true charm of a necromancer. After upgrading his skill, the number of skeletons he could summon increased to 4. With 4 goblin skeletons guarding him, protecting himself should not be a problem. But just protecting himself is not enough. He still has to escape this school with a skeleton vanguard. Lu Chungyu's progress was smooth. He soon ran into his follower, Han Hao. Lu Chungyu realized he had also awakened a class. He asked what his card was. Han Hao proudly replied that he had chosen a 1-star thief class. In terms of rank, he was just a recruit level. Lu Chungyu had a headache. Good grief, a 1-star, you have got to be kidding me. He was hoping for a capable assistant, but turns out he is just a deadweight. But now is not the time to complain. Let us find a safe place first. Just then, a notification suddenly popped up in front of Lu Chungyu. Party formed. Now activating bonus effects. Short Sword Thief Group. Requirement: equip 5 short swords. Effect: critical strike chance increased by 10%. Gold drop rate increased by 10%. Han Hao gets to enjoy this buff too. Well, look at that. Seems this deadweight's actually got some use. Between him and his babies, they trigger this buff perfectly. What surprised Lu Chungyu more was, didn't think my skeleton bro, Wang Defa, would count as a separate unit to trigger it. Looks like I really picked one hell of a class. With the buff active, the two of them moved a lot faster. Very soon, they reached the first floor, but it was crawling with goblins. There was one with a bigger head. Looks like an elite monster. Scaredy cat Han Hao started to panic. And right then, a system prompt came through. Goblins caught the scent of death, debuffing their stats. Abilities reduced by 30%. Effect triggers when there are more than 4 skeletons. Lu Chungyu grinned. Hey, guess my luck is not so bad after all. The skeleton goblins swarmed them. The debuffed normal goblins were no match at all. Just when they thought the fight was in the bag, that elite monster stepped up. It raised its right arm and bellowed. The beads on its wrist suddenly flashed red. A small magic circle enveloped the goblins. It was a wild rage skill. With that buff, the goblins were powered up. The tide of battle turned in an instant. Han Hao was already looking for an exit. Lu Chungyu told him to hold his horses. He needed to keep his cool now. Skeleton soldiers act based on my will, so wherever my will points, that is where their blades must fall. Lu Chungyu locked his eyes on those arms casting the spell. The skeleton goblins seemed to hear their master's call, leaping forward to break the siege. The one-armed skeleton fought on, aiming straight for the enemy's arms. Crack. The elite's palms hit the floor. A blood-curdling screech echoed through the hall. It furiously kicked aside the skeleton that crippled it. But unfortunately, its minions had already lost their buff. Down it went, like a house of cards. The skeleton goblins rose up again, madly harvesting XP. The elite goblin charged at the skeleton army in a blind rage. But it was too late. The skeletons were ready for him now. 2 blocked. 1 slashed. The elite demon could not hold them off. The goblin fell. Lu Chengyu and Han Hao collected their system rewards. They walked up to the loot. Looking at the gear scattered on the ground, Lu Chengyu grinned. Well, look at that loot. Wild Rage, Rare Grade, increases attack speed of my shorties by 20%. This is tailor-made for me, holy cow. Putting the bracelet on, my skeleton bros are like chickens getting a basketball. That is not all. It also triggered a D-grade passive skill. When activated, increases goblin mercenary attack by 10% and attack speed by 20%. Cooldown 1 hour. Increases goblin mercenary attack by 10% and attack speed by 20%. With the new gear, it is time to get out of here. The pair wandered into the academic building's lobby, only to find a huge crowd of students gathered there. And that prick Li Jingxi was there, running his mouth again. As for that guy, Lu Chengyu does not think much of him. He is always acting like a total bootlicker in the student council, harassing the women. Lu Chengyu ignores him and turns to leave, but just as he touches the handle, Li Jingxi suddenly shouts at him to stop. Lu Chengyu and Han Hao are both confused. He claims that as a member of the student council, he has the right to protect everyone. Lu Chengyu gives him a look. Oh, so he is looking to play the big shot, huh? In that case, I will say nothing. Li Jingxi notices the spear in Lu Chengyu's hand. He assumes he chose the garbage spearman class. Li Jingxi smugly pats his own shield. You guys just picked your classes, right? I have already killed those green-skinned monsters, though they are not easy to deal with. It is a good thing I chose the 2-star shield warrior. If there is trouble, you can hide behind me. I will protect you. Listening to Li Jingxi's showing off, Lu Chengyu does not want to entertain him. Behind him, Han Hao is barely holding back his laughter. Just then, the bespectacled guy reports in. Monsters found ahead. Li Jingxi immediately orders everyone to hide in the cafe. He decides he will be the one to stand guard. Lu Chengyu does not want to waste words with him, so he calls Han Hao over to the door. Both of them look shocked at the notification on the door. This door is sealed by powerful magic. Must defeat the boss to open it. Time 2 hours. 02-11-19 failed to complete in time. 02-11-19 monsters within the building will be buffed. Lu Chengyu shakes the glass door in disbelief. The result is exactly what the system indicated. The door does not budge. Since that is the case, there is only one path to take, and that is to find the boss of this building. Seeing the two of them about to leave, Li Jingxi calls out to them again. He tells them to calm down. Wait here quietly for regular forces to conduct a rescue. Lu Chengyu does not want to waste his breath on him. We are in deep trouble, and he is still waiting on others to save his skin. Seeing Lu Chengyu actually dare to ignore him, Li Jingxi is about to start shouting. A swarm of goblins appears at the stairwell. Seeing the sheer numbers, Li Jingxi panics on the spot. Just then the bespectacled guy points out Lu Chengyu's skeletal minions and says anxiously, "Brother, look fast, there are more over there." Li Jingxi did not expect this either. 4 more appear around the corner. Lu Chengyu holds his spear across his body. Don't be nervous. They are just my subordinates. Watching Lu Chengyu's cool, departing silhouette, Li Jingxi asks, panicked, "What class are you exactly?" Lu Chengyu turns back with an imposing air. "I am a class you can't afford to mess with. Skill, Death Aura. Enemy goblin stats reduced by 30%. Lu Chengyu descends like a god of death. The hunt begins now. Only level 2, and he can wipe out a whole squad of goblins. Only a necromancer could do that. Lu Chengyu has gone mad killing, but he wants to unite everyone through his actions even more. Too bad some people are just hopeless causes. After clearing out the goblins in the corridor, Lu Chengyu receives the system-provided achievement reward. This is the 34th player to achieve this feat to date. Lu Chengyu ignores him and heads to the cafe instead. There is less than 2 hours left to beat the boss. He must lead everyone to find it as soon as possible. Yet, when he shared his plan with everyone, they all fell into a dead silence. Suddenly, someone in the back raised a trembling hand. That big boss. I think I have seen it on the rooftop. The professor led us there when we were fleeing. I saw that giant monster spawn with my own eyes. With this lead, the path ahead finally became clear for Lu Chengyu. But when he asked who would join him, no one said a word. Even Han Hao, his own follower, did not want to follow him anymore. Lu Chengyu offered a sarcastic smirk. "Hey, if you are not up for it, then forget it. You are only good for providing buffs to my minions anyway." Just then, A woman carrying a warrior blade stepped out from the crowd. Her name was Yin Jisho, a 3-star tiger slayer. She remarked that since Lu Chengyu had a necromancer job, there was no need to bring along these deadweights, who are not even worth a skeleton. In other words, everyone behind him is just a burden. Lu Chengyu was left speechless. This woman is truly a savage, joining a party without even knowing the boss's strength. Whatever. At least, it is better than nothing. Before leaving, Lu Chengyu made sure to mock Li Jingxi one last time. The three of them then started heading toward the roof. Along the way, they encountered a few goblin monsters. Yin Jisho showed off her skills, cleaning them out with ease. Han Hao watched with his jaw drop. Man, I am just a piece of trash. Halfway there, Lu Chengyu suddenly saw the wounded professor. At this point, he was bleeding heavily and on his last legs. Lu Chengyu rushed forward in a panic, asking what happened. The professor looked devastated. He told Lu Chengyu it was his fault that things turned out this way. When the monsters first appeared, he followed the emergency evacuation handbook and led a group of students to flee to the roof. Little did he know, they ran straight into an even stronger monster. Lu Chengyu could not help but go silent. You damn idiot, even a pig would not make a choice that stupid. Anywhere else would have been better than the roof. The professor was full of regret. He kept warning Lu Chengyu not to go up there. Lu Chengyu wanted to save him, but unfortunately, he could not hold on for even 2.5 minutes. The old man was done for. This only solidified his resolve to take down the boss. Just then, a panel suddenly materialized in front of Lu Chengyu. System prompt, exclusive skill, exclusive quest. In front of you lies the remains of the dead. Vengeance for the departed. Perform a final rite. Deep lingering regrets. Absolve the shame in your heart. Your mission: eliminate the boss within the building. Successfully eliminate the boss to pass. Reward: gain exclusive necromancer skill. Vengeance is yours to claim. Earn your exclusive skill. Warning: please complete the quest within the limited time. Fail the quest and your future is at stake. Please complete the raid. Please complete the raid within the time limit. Complete the raid within the specified time. Your choices will shape your destiny. 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 Lu Chengyu looked confused. Is this a hidden quest? But deep down, Lu Chengyu already knew the answer. Quest or no quest, he was definitely going to avenge the professor. Only level 2. And the three of them were already daring to challenge a goblin boss. Besides avenging the professor, more importantly, they needed to get out of this building. The rooftop was a total wreck. Goblins were literally feasting on humans. Seeing this, Lu Chengyu gritted his teeth, veins popping. Yin Jisho behind him looked ready to charge in and tear them apart. Lu Chengyu signaled her to hold back. After a brief moment to calm their nerves, the three of them stepped into the boss's territory. The moment they invaded, the goblins drew their daggers and swarmed them. This rooftop was their main den, so there were way more goblins than in the hallway. Han Hao was already looking for the exit, but Lu Chengyu knew. This time, they had to stand their ground. Raising his left hand, Lu Chengyu immediately activated a skill from his bracelet. Wild Aura. Buffed by the skill, his goblin mercenaries received a boost to their attack power and speed. Brutal energy surged through the skeletal goblins. Seeing this display, the enemy goblins charged in like madmen. Too bad his skeletal goblins did not know what pain was. They fought with cold, lethal precision. For a while, the enemies could not even break through the skeleton defensive line. Lu Chengyu shifted his formation, playing it like a pro tactician, hiding behind his summons and picking his shots. Yin Jisho stayed close to cover him. Only Han Hao was about to cry. Damn it, I should have picked a different class. Look at everyone else's weapons, so long, mine so damn short. How am I supposed to play with this? Screw it. Resigned to his fate, Han Hao blindly whipped his dagger forward, and somehow, he actually clipped a goblin. Han Hao felt like he would discovered a new talent. Turns out I am a natural at this sneak attack thing. On the other side, after Lu Chengyu's skeletons unleashed their death aura, the enemy goblins instantly lost their will to fight. But just then, a massive boom echoed from nearby. The goblin centurion boss has arrived. The little runts immediately hit their knees. The sheer pressure alone made Lu Chengyu realize this was the boss they were hunting. The goblin centurion let out a fierce roar. The goblins who had just lost their nerve suddenly looked like they would been pumped full of adrenaline. Lu Chengyu gritted his teeth and charged. The stalemate was broken as they clashed again. But this fight was different than before. Just as a skeletal soldier tackled a goblin, the centurion stepped in. A single swing of its club, and the skeleton was reduced to dust. To the boss, it seemed like a casual flick of the wrist. Lu Chengyu sensed trouble. He shouted for everyone to back off. Too little too late. Crunch. Another skeleton was pulverized. Lu Chengyu had no choice but to keep summoning new ones. Even though there were plenty of corpses to use, his mana was not infinite. He could not keep this up for long. Han Hao did not seem to grasp how dire the situation was. He kept throwing knives at the centurion, only for the boss to swat them away with one arm. Han Hao scrambled toward the skeletons, hoping they would act as his meat shield. Too bad the centurion was a powerhouse. One swing of its club, and he wiped out two skeletons at once. The one-armed skeleton dodged nimbly, and drove its dagger into the centurion's shoulder. The centurion snarled in pain, and kicked it flying. That kick did a real number on it. Bone fragments were already falling off its body. Just then, Yin Jisho suddenly flashed behind the 100-man commander. A long blade sliced through the air. The blade shimmer landed squarely on his back. The commander collapsed to his knees, coughing up blood uncontrollably. Damn it. I was looking forward to slicing you in half. Though the commander was not dead yet, Lu Chengyu finally realized something. Yin Jisho did not just show off elite swordsmanship. She displayed tactical judgment and strategic timing. It seems, my next move needs to be just as tactical. One thought. As a necromancer, if you have mana, you have minions. Unfortunately, Lu Chengyu is out of mana. He only has 3 skeletons left to fight, under pressure from all sides. Lu Chengyu took a shot with his gun at the boss. Damn, missed. The bullet just clipped the boss's ear. Missed a headshot by an inch. The goblin commander pounded the ground in a rage. Suddenly, it calmed down. It pointed at the skeleton goblin on the ground and growled. The minions felt a surge of soul suppression, freezing them in their tracks. The goblin commander smirked. It suddenly surged forward, charging at Lu Chengyu. That strike nearly landed. Lu Chengyu frowned. He could not just rely on his skeletal soldiers anymore. Scanning his surroundings, he spotted 2 katana blades on the ground. Looks like he had to land the perfect strike himself. Meanwhile, Yin Jisho and the skeletons were deadlocked with the boss. Lu Chengyu slowly picked up the katana, dual blades in hand. He finally regained some confidence. The 2 skeletal soldiers seemed to be in sync, taking turns to draw the boss's attention. But the boss saw right through it. The boss unleashed a sweeping attack, striking down both skeletons at once. And in that exact moment, Lu Chengyu threw one of his swords. A cold glint flashed by. The boss reacted instantly, ducking to dodge it. But that was not Lu Chengyu's true intent. Suddenly an armored skeletal hand caught the sword mid-air. The one-armed skeleton was back in the fray. It swung the long blade down with force, crashing onto the boss's club. But the boss swatted it away with a mere flick. Right then, a notification popped up above Lu Chengyu's head. Team Synergy bonus triggered. Buffs activated. Synergy list. Attack speed increased plus 10%. Attack speed increased plus 10% while equipping 3 blades. Equipping 3 blades. Attack speed increased by 10%. Weapon weight reduced 50%. Weapon weight reduced 50%. Attack speed plus 10%. Buff V. Weapon weight reduced by 50%. That is right. Yin Jisho, Lu Chengyu, and the one-armed skeleton. The trio successfully activated the bonus. And that is not all. The one-armed skeleton unlocked a unique bonus. One-armed blade mastery. First strike counts as a crushing blow. 88% success rate. 88% success rate. Strength attribute bonus. With these buffs, Lu Chengyu's confidence soared. He grabbed a nearby stool and charged at the boss. At the same time, Yin Jisho and the one-armed skeleton attacked from both flanks, hammered from 3 sides. The boss is getting a bit dizzy. Before it can even react, a heavy hit lands right on it. One weak point exposed, and it is on the defensive everywhere. Yin Jisho and the one-armed skeleton keep up the pressure. The boss is in a real mess. It swings its club at the floor with all its might, but just as it raises its arm, Han Hao, that sneaky brat, fires a throwing knife. The blade sticks right into its arm. The boss must be cursing up a storm inside. And right then, a flash of green light erupts from Lu Chengyu's eyes. One-armed skeleton. Make the sacrifice for me. One-armed skeleton. A cripple with spirit. Lu Chengyu meant to sacrifice it for a sneak attack opportunity, but he never expected it to evolve. Just a second ago, the one-armed skeleton rushed the boss with a blade. Just when Lu Chengyu thought it was done for, the skeleton dodged the attack with a clever maneuver. Simultaneously, its blade gleams cold, striking straight for the boss's throat. Splat. The boss's head pops off like a ball. Lu Chengyu's eyes widen in shock. Effect. The first strike is counted as a critical hit. You hunted the boss and gained 255 gold coins. Leveled up to level 3. Lu Chengyu could not care less about the notifications now. He stares dumbfounded at the one-armed skeleton kneeling on the ground. The hell? Is it trying to ham it up? Just then, the skeleton glows with a blinding light. The goblin skeleton absorbed the boss's mana. Level up. Commander stats increased. Ding. Obtain squad bonus. Commander stats increased. You can now receive squad effect bonus based on party size. Lu Chengyu is stunned. The sidekick has become the boss. The one-armed skeleton stands tall. Checking its stats board now. It is now a level 2 elite monster. It is now a level 2 elite monster. Tier 1 Lu Chengyu finally understands. Tier 1 Lu Chengyu finally understands. Lu Chengyu finally understands. They grow up so fast. Already learned how to fight for its father. Killed the goblin boss. Yin Jishou and Han Hao also receive level up alerts. Just like Lu Chengyu, they also receive rewards for leveling up and drawing cards. Lu Chengyu chooses the random skill option as usual. You have mastered the hardbone weapon crafting skill. The better the quality, the better the result. You have mastered the hardbone weapon crafting skill. Use bones to craft usable weapons. The better the quality, the better the gear you can craft from bones. Available gear types: short sword, dagger, long spear, arrows. Higher levels allow for better gear: short sword, dagger, long spear, arrows. Lu Chengyu is speechless, doesn't even let them rest in peace after death. Talk about a ruthless skill. Just then, a new system notification pops up for Lu Chengyu. You have completed your exclusive quest through salvation. Reward issued. Your fate has shifted slightly. Thanks for the head, Professor. Gained the favoritism +1 skill. Lu Chengyu can now control 5 skeletons. He is not the only one getting rewards. He is not the only one getting rewards. He is not the only one getting rewards. Han Hao obtained the Thief's Cloak. Wearing it gives a 50% chance to blend into the shadows. Yin Jishou obtained an Ignition Stone. Use it to polish your weapon and grant it fire property. Long story short, this run was a total haul. Now that the boss is down, time to get out of this dump. Seriously, what a joke. To think there are actually people brave enough to mess with a necromancer. After Lu Chengyu took down the roof-dwelling boss, the seal on the first floor was broken, leading everyone out to the streets. Lu Chengyu noticed it was eerily quiet. Aside from the cold corpses everywhere, he did not spot a single monster. That was when Han Hao suddenly caught sight of someone at the corner. Everyone hurried over to meet up. Once they got closer, Lu Chengyu was surprised to find they were all players armed with gear, and they were the same bunch that survived the fight against the goblin. The white-haired leader looked at them with a smug attitude. Li Jingxi looked like he just saw his long-lost hero rushing straight out from the crowd. It turns out the white-haired guy is the big shot from the student council. Always Li Jingxi's go-to guy. Li Jingxi whispered something with a sinister look on his face. Lu Chengyu did not need a guess to know he was bad-mouthing him, and I am sure it was some top-tier trash talk. The big shot gave a polite greeting before starting his act. He pointed at Lu Chengyu's skeleton minion, demanding why he was hanging out with a monster. Lu Chengyu explained it was just his summon, but the big shot did not care about that. He said if I wanted to stay, I had to dump those creepy monsters. He even rallied the other students to isolate Lu Chengyu. Before Lu Chengyu could even refuse, Yin Jishou stepped up, furious. What a joke. Who would want to be in your group anyway? And cut the high and mighty act. Do you think I do not know you embezzled the student council funds during the school festival? I was the one who reported you. My god, Yin Jishou is absolutely on fire. She is laying it all out there. She left that big shot completely speechless. He has got nothing to say. He tried to puff his chest out, hiding his embarrassment, but by then, Yin Jishou had already pulled Lu Chengyu and Han Hao away, leaving him there, fuming in his own impotence. After breaking away from the main group, Lu Chengyu learned from Yin Jishou that they had a history. Something about messy male-female drama. Lu Chengyu did not pry any further. Shifting the topic to leaving the school, Yin Jishou noted that monsters love crowded areas, so it was best to avoid the mob. Lu Chengyu agreed there was logic in that. He suggested avoiding the buildings and taking the back mountain paths. The three of them started climbing the stairs, but halfway up, Lu Chengyu signaled them to stop. He spotted a massive beast wallowing at the top of the stairs. No doubt about it. That was a half-beast, many times larger than a goblin. The moment we spotted it, the half-beast saw us too. With a roar it charged right down the stairs. Lu Chengyu was not afraid. Instead, a wicked grin appeared. Hey, my summoning collection is about to get a new recruit. You want the soul of a half-beast? Sure, but you have to kill it first. The half-beast was coming in hot. Lu Chengyu's smile began to sharpen. He realized the thing had absolutely no intention of stopping. Just as Lu Chengyu shouted out, the half-beast plowed through the crowd. Poor Han Hao was the first to be swatted away. The beast stopped and immediately turned its sights toward Yin Jishou. It was a hair-raising moment, but the skeleton minion descended from above and skewered the half-beast. Still, a wound like that was not enough to kill it. The half-beast swung its axe down. Yin Jishou almost got hit. That is when Lu Chengyu bellowed. Hold it back. The one-armed skeleton stepped in and blocked the strike with its blade. The half-beast looked furious. An axe head plummeted down. The one-armed skeleton leaped forward, unleashing a massive skill. A long blade slashed across the half-beast's shoulder. A spray of blood erupted. The half-beast went tumbling down the stairs. By then, Lu Chengyu had reached the end of the staircase. He shouted at Yin Jisho to get her to open ground. Reaching the top of the stairs, he told the two of them, "We need to deal with this half-beast just like we dealt with the previous boss. We absolutely cannot let it get close." As they spoke, the half-beast was already climbing back up the stairs, clutching its wound. Lu Chengyu hid behind a tree. He told Yin Jisho, "Proceed with the plan from here. No matter what danger we face, the skeleton must be the first one to take the hit. Good lad. Good thing my little minion does not understand human speech. Otherwise he would have been the first one to get sliced." The group ducked into a small grove to restrict the half-beast's movement. Han Hao hid in the treetops like a total camper, tossing throwing knives at every opportunity. This time, the skeleton did not choose to attack. Instead, it dropped its weapon and tackled the half-beast. Lu Chengyu and Yin Jisho seized the chance to strike from behind the trees. The half-beast swung its blade, trying to fend them both off. Who would have thought? Yin Jisho pulled a slick move and slid right between its legs. A chilling blade force slashed from below. The half-beast was instantly castrated. At the same time, Lu Chengyu's long blade finished the job on its arms. The sheer agony brought regret-filled tears to the half-beast's eyes. But before it could even wail, the one-armed skeleton descended from above and drove a blade through its neck. "You have hunted the half-beast scout captain. Gained 110 gold coins." Lu Chengyu was a bit surprised. Didn't expect the guy to be an officer. He attempted to initiate the summon skill, but the system notified him that his level was insufficient. "Looks like I need to level up ASAP." Still, the corpse should not go to waste. Lu Chengyu activated the hardbone weapon crafting skill. System notification. Other than the steel gear, everything else is base level. Lu Chengyu did not hesitate. He went straight for the highest level steel gear. Successfully crafted 5 pieces of steel weaponry. His precious little buddies number exactly 5 now. Time to upgrade their gear. After receiving the steel weaponry, a new stat buff was triggered. Equip 5 hardbone weapons. Bonus 30% damage while in injured state. With a set probability. Apply stun effect. Additional 10% damage against medium-sized monsters. Additional 10% damage against medium-sized monsters. Additional 10% damage against medium-sized monsters. Damn. Talk about a massive upgrade. That samurai blade the one-armed skeleton was using. The samurai blade the skeleton retired. Lu Chengyu handed it straight over to Han Hao. Once the group caught their breath, they set out again. Arriving at the school gates, they were left stunned. There was a magic seal here, just like the one on the main building. But what shocked them even more was, there were only 8 minutes left to clear the dungeon. Magic seal ahead. Reinforced. Magic seal ahead. Beastmen hunting them from behind. Blood-curdling screams echoed from inside the school building. But here, it was eerily silent. As it turns out, Lu Chengyu just received a system notification. The half-beasts have started the hunt. Please select a suitable location to stand your ground. Warning. Note: half-beasts track their enemies by scent. Dembeasts track their prey by scent. They track their prey by scent. And they send more warriors if their targets are grouped. And they send more warriors if their targets are grouped. And they send more warriors if their targets are grouped. And they send more warriors if their targets are grouped. And they send more warriors if their targets are grouped. No wonder the schoolhouse was filled with screams. Turns out those dembeasts were just sniffing us out. Looks like sticking together blindly is not always the smart move. Suddenly, a notification popped up in front of the 3 of them. First attack initiated. 5 dembeasts. Han Hao was just about to complain when a roar came from right behind him. Lu Chengyu did not even flinch. He grinned. "I have got a better idea. We can use the terrain to set a trap. And if there is a trap, there has to be bait. Need I say more? That bait is definitely going to be you, Han Hao. He stands on the car roof pulling aggro, while my skeletons lie in wait." Once the dembeasts heard Han Hao shouting, they took the bait hook, line and sinker, charging straight for him. And just then, 2 metal plates blocked their path. With their own momentum, the dembeasts smashed right into the car. Before they could even react, my skeleton lackeys emerged from behind. 5 against 5, whack 1 club for each. Hitting them in the head left them totally stunned. That is when Lu Chengyu and Yin Jisho swooped in to clean up. All 5 dembeasts were taken down easily. The hunt earned them a level up. Lu Chengyu chose his skill, but to his surprise, he actually got an increase in his minion limit. The issue is, he could summon 7 now, but his mana was still capped at 50. Meanwhile, Han Hao unlocked the high-speed stab skill. Yin Jisho did not choose a skill. She opted for intellect instead. Aside from feeling a bit feverish, she also noticed a significant boost in her strength. Though they successfully pushed back 1 wave, the crisis was not over. The 3 wandered down the street, until Lu Chengyu noticed something ahead. Hiding behind a tree, they saw a group of dembeasts attacking a bus. Lu Chengyu counted 7 of them. Looks like the other players are not doing too many either. And after observing, it seems only one guy inside can spear them through the windows. Yin Jisho wanted to save them. She suggested a pincer attack to take out the dembeasts. But Lu Chengyu did not quite see it that way. In this post-apocalyptic world, there is no guarantee those people will even help us. But that does not mean we do not have options. A light bulb went off for Lu Chengyu. Meanwhile, the people on the bus were at each other's throats. Aside from one-star gunner, who was somewhat useful, the rest were just wallowing in despair. As the dembeasts were about to smash through the window, a strange thunderous roar echoed outside. Oh crap, what the hell is that? My brakes failed. The dembeasts were blindsided by a runaway truck, and the skeletons seized the moment to smash them. The people on the bus did not even know what just happened. Everything went quiet. Only after Han Hao knocked on the door did they finally snap out of it. We are saved. Han Hao spotted a vending machine inside. With one good punch, Han Hao grabbed a soda to quench his thirst. And to think I did not even get a soda out of this hit. Plus, I had to listen to these guys whining. Just then, one of the survivors they rescued told Lu Chengyu, "This vending machine spits out legendary loot, except it did not have enough gold coins. They only tried it once." Lu Chengyu got curious and went up to check it out. As he tapped the screen button, his jaw dropped at what he saw. E-grade shop, please select your lucky draw. Tiered shop, item shop, bonus gold. This is actually an item shop. Hui Yongdao. This is really a legit item shop. It is a gacha machine. Can you actually pull a legendary gold item with 10,000 coins? Lu Chengyu decided to try his luck after discovering the shop, but after killing so many monsters, he only had 1,522 gold coins, just enough for one spin on the silver wheel. Just as he was about to give it a shot, the system notified him he had a free spin ticket. Unlimited grade. That is when Lu Chengyu remembered. He picked this up when he was clearing the hallway from goblins. So that is what it was for. Since that is the case, time to go for the expensive gold wheel. As the wheel spun, everyone held their breath in anticipation. Everyone's heart was hanging by a thread. Congratulations, you won a first-tier reward. Tear of the Sea Elf. Legendary grade. Mana increased by 300. Mana recovery rate increased by 200%. Mana recovery increased by 200%. Talk about beginner's luck. The group immediately started their own gacha competition. Lu Chengyu got a second-tier reward. Vanguard General Shield. Yin Jisho also nabbed a second-tier reward, Expeditionary Forces Longsword. Only Han Hao, that little scrub, only pulled a C-grade medical kit. Guess even the system knows he is a basket case. Take your meds on time, kid. After blowing through their coins, they decided to drive to the sports arena to check it out. The arena was full of people screaming for mercy. All those hotshots from earlier had fled here. The number of half-breeds was just too high. Their combat power could not keep up at all. Soon enough, they were thinking of ditching everyone else. Just as they were about to be overrun, a familiar sound echoed from outside the door. Oh crap, oh crap. Why did the brakes fail now? The bus came roaring in. The half-breeds were crushed into meat paste. The driver had already lost control of the vehicle. Damn it, that is a fortune in gold coins right there. And it was not just him. Han Hao was also throwing knives non-stop through the window. Seeing the area was mostly cleared, Lu Chengyu poked his head out. He yelled for everyone to get on the bus. With the new gear buffing them, Yin Jisho could now take on half-breeds all on her own. But she was still a far cry from Lu Chengyu. He did not even need to lift a finger himself. He had skeletal minions throwing blades, and ones just picking them back up. This thief class move really cleared things up for him. The half-breed crisis was resolved pretty quickly. Just then, that guy Li Jingxi and his lapdog scurried over to Lu Chengyu. "Oh, hey, how come you are here? I thought you hated hanging around monsters." Li Jingxi had none of his previous bravado now. He begged Lu Chengyu to be the bigger man and let the pass slide, pleading to let them hop on the bus. Right at that moment, everyone received a system notification. Hunt failed. The half-breed chief was furious. At the same time, an oppressive aura descended upon everyone's hearts. Li Jingxi and his crew were so scared they nearly wet themselves. Lu Chengyu had no time to waste on them. He made it clear that if they wanted to follow his lead, they could board the bus, provided they first shed their heavy chains and iron armor. After all, he was not running a charity. The death bus took to the streets, enough to make even the king of hell tremble. Lu Chengyu's grim squad used the bus to rack up massive amounts of EXP, smoothly reaching level 5. This meant he could now summon intermediate monsters like the half-beasts. On top of that, his summon count had hit 9. That is when the simpleton Han Hao stepped up to report, saying the bus was currently sold out of standing room. Should they consider expanding the business, like buying another bus? Lu Chengyu looked at him with pure disdain. How much does driving a bus actually pay? To be the best, you have got to take the fight to them. Lu Chengyu then announced to everyone, They were going to team up and take down the half-beast chief, because they had received a prior quest. The half-beasts had already capsized their boat of friendship. Since there is no avoiding it, might as well lie back and enjoy it. Suddenly, a weakling in the crowd raised his hand, claiming he would seen the chief at the stadium. Back then, there did not seem to be many monsters, only about 100. That set the mood inside the bus on fire. Not only that, as the party had issues, the system triggered a debuff. Incoordinated teammates. I have incoordinated teammates. I have players under level 5. Movement speed reduced by 30%. Attack speed reduced by 5%. Weak newbies. More than 10 people hunting monsters. Attack power reduced by 10%. Gold coin yield reduced by 10%. Desperate morale. Chaos state probability increased by 10%. Lu Chengyu was speechless. What kind of junk did we drag onto the bus? Just a bunch of freeloaders. Come to think of it, if I could turn them into half-beast allies, this fight would be a total cakewalk. Seeing everyone so eager to pile on the debuffs, Lu Chengyu did not hold back. He declared he had no intention of playing with them anymore. He would face the boss alone. That made the freeloaders in the crowd jump for joy. They could not wait to send Lu Chengyu's name to the afterlife. Yin Jisho looked confused. If you want to commit suicide, buy some insurance first. At least you will be helping someone out. Lu Chengyu did not bother explaining. He just said this was a product of his deep, calculated strategy. Arriving at the stadium. Lu Chengyu led his minions off the bus. Meanwhile, in the building nearby, the onlookers watched in disbelief. Only Yin Jisho, Han Hao, and the driver remained on the bus. They were worried about Lu Chengyu, ready to back him up if he faltered. Suddenly, an army of over 100 beasts swarmed in. Lu Chengyu and his 9 minions looked severely outnumbered. The lead half-beast let out a roar. Lu Chengyu squinted. The thing actually had long hair. Looks like the boss, for sure. With a signal from the half-beast, they began their coordinated attack. Lu Chengyu, meanwhile, reached a narrow stairwell. Shield held in front. One-armed skeleton Wang Defa by his side. The spot he chose had obstacles on both sides, like a small canyon. Easy to defend, hard to attack. And so, the battle began. Time to see what my skeletons can do. 1 summoner and 9 skeletons, taking on 100 demi-humans. Lu Chengyu waits by the stairs, cool as a cucumber. The moment the demi-humans charge, he triggers the wild aura on his bracelet. Flying blades rain down on them. The caught-off-guard demi-humans get hit hard, but that trick only works once. It is useless for a second wave. Lu Chengyu orders his skeletons to charge, using the stairs for elevation. The skeletons pack a heavier punch. But this kind of attack is practically suicide. 1 strike against a demi-human, and the skeleton's life ends. Seeing his comrade fall, the one-armed skeleton Wang Defa loses his cool. He grabs the warrior's blade on his back, ready to dive into the fray. But right then, Lu Chengyu gently pats his skull. Don't sweat it, it is not your turn yet. A battle axe comes crashing down. The demi-human is finished instantly. A blue-flamed undead demi-human rises from the corpse. Lu Chengyu's eyes gleam, a smirk playing on his lips. The debut of an undead demi-human. No flesh means no fear of pain, and having 5 or more triggers a buff. For 10 seconds, attack and speed increase by 5%. The tide of battle flips instantly. At this moment, Yin Jisho and the others can finally breathe easy. Yin Jisho and the others finally stop worrying. Yin Jisho and her group are finally at ease. Thinking carefully, Yin Jisho and her group are finally at ease. It seems he had this all planned out. No doubt, equipped with a legendary artifact like the Sea Spirit's Tear, Lu Chengyu no longer has to worry about mana depletion. His undead army is effectively endless. Under the death aura effect, the demi-human stats drop by 30%. Within moments, fear strikes the demi-humans. The elite boss realizes something's wrong and lets out a roar. But it only recovered half its energy. Lu Chengyu's undead horde still holds the upper hand. Wang Defa is already climbing the railing, eager to jump in. Lu Chengyu watches it all coldly. Go get him, little buddy. On command, Wang Defa dives into the fray. He is like a possessed fighter, reaping through the monster swarm. Pretty soon, the demi-humans are surrounded by the undead army. Lu Chengyu maintains a stone-cold expression. Time to wrap this up. The demi-humans wail in agony. An impossible battle ended with such ease. Lu Chengyu checks the system rewards. Another gotcha ticket. But his real focus is on his current ranking. Rank 21. Meaning 20 people are faster and stronger than me. Can't keep messing around in the low-tier zones. Just then, a bus comes flying toward the entrance. With a bang, the bus slams into the magic seal and stops. Li Jiangxi and his crew are instantly snatched up by demi-humans. Lu Chengyu curses under his breath. What a bunch of idiots. I just killed an elite, not the demi-human chieftain. Ever wondered what it is like to summon 50 undead creatures at once? Li Jingxi and his goons have been nabbed. Even if he does not save them, he has to face the boss. Because only by killing the demi-human chieftain can everyone leave the school. He leads everyone to the gymnasium. Dark and dreary, eerie and ominous. Obviously, the demi-humans have made this place their nest. Lu Chengyu spots a purple glow in the center. Who is that? Is that a boss? Lu Chengyu recovers his mana while thinking of a strategy. Suddenly, he sees the hostages kneeling on the ground. Lu Chengyu tells everyone to fall back. Although the few of them are still alive, he never thought the monsters would use hostages as pawns. Too bad they grabbed the wrong people. Lu Chengyu could not care less whether they live or die. Sticking to the principle of leaving others to their fate to save oneself, Lu Chengyu initiates the attack first. The demi-human is swift with its hands as well, wiping them out on the spot. Even though Lu Chengyu was prepared, seeing a living person die right in front of him was still hard to take. After the hostages are finished off, the leading demi-human suddenly releases a burst of purple mist. Under this mist, everyone feels their strength being drained away. Absorbing abyss energy. People. Absorbing abyss energy. Buff. Absorbing abyss energy. Falling into chaos state. Falling into chaos state. Falling into chaos state. The demi-human slowly rises within the purple mist. Reinforced monster boss. S-rank dark mage demi-human chieftain has appeared. Han Hao trembles while taking out an antidote to drink. Once he recovers some stamina, he plans to give one to Lu Chengyu. Lu Chengyu, aside from emitting abyss energy, is also radiating an aura of death. He looks perfectly at ease right now, greedily inhaling the purple mist. Due to absorbing a large amount of abyss energy, magic power increased significantly. Abyss energy is accumulating within you. First awakening achieved temporarily. All your stats have increased significantly. Max thrall limit increased by 50 temporarily. Lu Chengyu wears an evil smirk. At this moment, he looks like the god of death himself. Heh, though I do not know what you did to me, judging by your expression. Even you did not anticipate this turnout, did you? Oblivious to the truth, Yin Jisho and the others want to step up to help. Lu Chengyu's wicked laughter rings out. Stay back. This is not like the rooftop. The moment he speaks, several buffs pop up in a row. Weapon effect. Equip 3 blades. Attack speed increased by 20%. Single-armed warrior. Effect applied. Savage warrior. Equipped with over 30 axes. Attack and attack speed increased by 15%. Mastery. Attack and attack speed increased by 15%. Speed increased. Attack and attack speed increased by 15%. Demi-human hunter. Demi-human species over 30 units. Detection chance increased by 20%. Attack increased by 10%. Attack increased by 10%. Reborn 1. Undead creatures over 30 units. Undead creatures over 30 units. Undead creatures over 30 units. Random resurrection increased for 5 units. Movement speed increased by 20%. Squad formation. Commander stats. Attack and defense increased by 5%. Defense increased. Attack and defense increased by 5%. Now then, let us get a real taste of death's true power. Once a necromancer triggers their awakening state, it truly signals the arrival of death. Lu Chengyu, channeling the aura of the abyss, sent a chill down the spine of the half-orc chieftain boss. Stay back, damn you. 6-layer buffs stacking up. An undead army rising endlessly from the ground. The half-orc chieftain felt fear for the very first time, despite his desperate resistance. For every skeleton that went down, another one stood right back up. Do you have any clue what you are dealing with? Lu Chengyu's voice sounded like a grim summons. The half-orc chieftain was truly terrified. He turned, scouting for an exit to escape, but the skeletal army was far greater than he had imagined. Swarmed by skeletons, he was completely overwhelmed. Wang Defa. Time to end this. One-armed skeleton possesses. With a swift strike, he took down the chieftain. You have slain an enhanced boss monster. Received 1055 gold coins. Immediately, the one-armed skeleton began absorbing the chieftain's mana. Goblin elite skeleton has leveled up. Defense increased. Commander stats improved. Evolved into Goblin veteran. Commander rank elevated to Tier 2. Attribute, Undead plus Commander Tier 2. Commander upgraded to Tier 2. At that moment, the violent energy within Lu Chengyu dissipated as well. Scanning the system interface, it all clicked into place. So Wang Defa levels up by absorbing bosses. Right at that moment, Han Hao alerted Lu Chengyu that something had dropped from the chieftain. Lu Chengyu curiously picked it up. It was a bead that rivaled a legendary artifact. This item bestows the owner with the demon attribute. In the future, to remove related attributes, one would have to pay a heavy price. Lu Chengyu looked cold and detached. So what if it is the demon attribute? Sounds like no different from being a necromancer anyway. You have been granted the demon attribute. Absorb opponent's stamina. Legendary item. Absorb opponent's willpower. Grind. Absorb opponent's insight. Absorb opponent's stamina. Attacks drain 2% mana. Casting a finisher recovers 2% mana. Absorb magic. Absorb intellect. Drains the opponent's stamina. Your abyssal aura has been depleted. Awakening state deactivated. The 50 skeletons from earlier crumbled into dust at that moment. Lu Chengyu was hailed as a hero for taking out the chieftain. But he had no interest in hanging around with these losers. The school's containment barrier has been lifted. Everyone wanted to head home and check on things. The minibus driver offered Lu Chengyu a ride. Lu Chengyu smiled and declined, claiming his place was just nearby. In truth, he just did not want to keep playing in a bronze-tier lobby with them. The crowd dispersed. Only Yin Jisho and Han Hao, his two loyal followers, remained. The pair hoped they could keep tagging along with Lu Chengyu. Lu Chengyu did not object. But just then, Yin Jisho shouted for them to get down. She tackled them both to the ground. A second later, a pair of massive flesh wings swept across the sky. Seeing this sight, all three felt their hearts racing. A massive wyvern roared as it streaked through the horizon. The plains boss Hero Wyvern has appeared. Survival of the fittest. To keep living in this world, getting stronger is the only way out. Stepping out of the school gates meant Lu Chengyu had finally finished the tutorial. The trio walked along the street. Ordinary goblins were no longer a match for them. Soon he had reached level 6. This time, Lu Chengyu did not opt for a skill. He chose to boost his agility instead. The 3-point increase made him feel that his body was undergoing a subtle change. The three of them had been hunting goblins along the way, filling their backpacks with short blades. Lu Chengyu suggested they stop hunting goblins, because in terms of gold value, demi-humans drop 80 gold coins, while goblins only drop 10. 10 gold, goblins are barely worth the effort. So, they should focus their energy on higher-yielding targets. The trio roamed the streets looking for traces of demi-humans. Suddenly, Han Hao spotted military vehicles nearby. They approached the vehicles and found 2 survivors inside. However, one of them was severely wounded, barely able to leave the vehicle. Lu Chengyu realized the wounds were caused by goblin short blades. The guy with glasses explained, even though he was stabbed, he managed to finish off his attacker with a shovel. Hearing this, Lu Chengyu was left confused. Why did not you use your guns? The guy told him. For some reason, all the firearms had stopped firing bullets. That was exactly why. Their unit had suffered heavy losses. Lu Chengyu gave Han Hao a look, signaling him to hand over some health potions for them. The guy knew his stuff. As soon as he saw the potions, he recognized them as player-exclusive items. He offered intel in exchange for the medicine. Lu Chengyu told him to keep talking. The survivor explained. They had discovered a pack of wolves even bigger than buffaloes. Their unit was decimated before they could even kill one. Also, there were 2 blue QR codes ahead, one at the bus station and the other at the subway transfer hub. Just scan them with your phone, and it will automatically download an app. All communication networks are down now. This community app is the only way to communicate with other survivors. Lu Chengyu handed over the potions and bid them farewell. Before leaving, he reminded them to watch out for the flying dragons above. Following the intel given, Lu Chengyu soon found the blue QR code. Just as they said, a quick scan lets you download the app. It features announcements and a player leaderboard. Access denied. It features announcements and a player leaderboard. Access denied. It features announcements and a player leaderboard. Access denied. The public forum and auction house are accessible. Access denied. The public forum and auction house are accessible. The public forum and auction house are accessible. The other 3 sections are temporarily locked. Total players, 2,967,821. Total players, 2,967,821. Open announcement board. Open the announcement board. The indicator shows current players and survivors. It shows current player numbers and survivors. It shows current player numbers and survivors. It shows current player numbers and survivors. Opening the public forum, there were no posts. Yin Jisho noticed. Posting costs 1,000 gold coins. No wonder there are no posts. Just then, all 3 of their phones rang at once. Anyone there? If anyone is, please comment on my post. Our team has reached level 8, currently setting up a safe zone at H Apartments. Reply if you are nearby. Lu Chengyu was shocked, not just because of their arrogance, but more importantly, he had only just reached level 6 with difficulty. To think they have already reached level 8. Han Hao said in surprise. H Apartments are right near my house. Lu Chengyu said, since that is the case, let us go check it out. But here is what they did not expect. The one posting it was not a fellow human player, but some monster with a mouth full of jagged fangs. That is absolutely nuts. Slimes are basically the bane of necromancers. Right on time, the Grim Reaper is here. Just checking in. Anyway, after Lu Chengyu saw the post on his phone, he decided to go check it out himself. On the way, he saved a few random survivors. From them he learned there was an underground KTV nearby. and a green monster was nesting inside. Lu Chengyu immediately got interested. When they reached the spot, they realized it was actually a rare slime sanctuary. The three charged in, full of confidence, but it ended in tragedy less than 2.5 minutes later. Turns out, small slimes could actually corrode Lu Chengyu's skeletons, even though he could summon an endless supply of them. These things just absolutely reeked. They only took down a few, and the trio could not take it anymore. Just as they were brainstorming their next move, a slime boss appeared. It swallowed a skeleton in one gulp. Lu Chengyu's mind was blown. This thing did not smell like the small ones at all. It was clean, hygienic, and even resistant to corrosion. No matter. No sweat. Lu Chengyu is an expert at fixing tricky problems. After losing a few skeleton minions, he figured out even dead minions could have their bones used to craft weapons. So he purposely let a minion crawl into the slime's belly. Once it was in there for a while, he activated his weapon crafting skill. The newly forged weapon shot out from inside the slime, turning it into a human colander in an instant. This is legit like a Panda Express delivery. Right to your doorstep. The slime is toast. Lu Chengyu happily collected his 2,255 gold coins. Not just that, he even gathered the body parts to recycle them, because slime fluid is heavily corrosive. Just then, Lu Chengyu spotted something on the ground. He picked it up. It was a slime core, a rock-solid object. He picked it up and realized it was a slime core. It was solid, and also a composite material. Hard, rigid, and a composite material too. Before he could put it in his backpack, Han Hao let out a gasp. He noticed several comments on that previous post had been deleted. Lu Chengyu felt like a detective. He sensed something was off. Below the post, the op explained that people were leaving toxic comments. So he deleted them, but it costs 1,000 gold to leave a reply. Who has the time to waste gold just to troll, unless they are a total whale? Meanwhile, 3 punks were at the subway station, discussing a side project. Killing 1 civilian nets you 500 gold. One of them even said he would quit once he hit 10 million. Right in the middle of their talk, one of the punks suddenly clutched his head and screamed, his eyes bloodshot, his whole body trembling. Suddenly, a pair of fangs sprouted from his mouth. He grabbed his phone with a wicked grin. Hey, another sucker has taken the bait. The guy was a punk just a second ago, and now he has turned into a lovesick little puppy. So that is where those guys got their intel from. Killing a normal person gets you 500 gold. Too bad they ran into the Grim Reaper's squad on their very first day. Lu Chengyu had realized the post was fishy from the start, so he had a skeletal minion put on a cloak, disguised as a person, to meet them. And what do you know? They fell for it hook, line, and sinker. He floored the gas, smashing right through them into a pile of bone fragments. That left the driver completely stunned. Even with total brake failure, you would not just turn them into confetti like that, right? Seriously, just for that. Suddenly, the driver gets a massive migraine. Damn, overworked his brain again. Should have eaten more walnuts. But before his headache clears, a hammer-side fist smashes the car window, delivering some instant physical therapy. Not gonna lie, that actually worked. Aside from the head, everything else is starting to hurt. Suddenly, a hand reaches out in front of him, picking up the dropped phone. Hey, so you are the one who posted it. Lu Chengyu points his broadsword at the guy's head. The guy is completely stunned. Glad we set that bait. Didn't expect you to just drive right into it. Hearing Lu Chengyu's words, the guy finally realizes he has messed with the wrong crowd. He puts on a terrified face. Do you even know who I am? How dare you threaten me? I could not care less who you are. Lu Chengyu kicks him square in the chest. He glares down at the guy, cold as ice. Talk. How many people are up there? Or else your head rolls. At that moment, the man starts laughing maniacally. My head rolls. Big talk for someone like you. As he speaks, the guy lunges with razor-sharp claws at Lu Chengyu. But before he even gets close, Wang Defa, the one-armed skeleton, leaps into action. With one clean strike, he lops off the guy's arm. He lets out a blood-curdling shriek. Even his own minions can't bear to watch. Lu Chengyu tries to get more intel, but realizes the guy has already passed out. So he turns his attention to the little minion on the side. This one's bones look a whole lot softer. Before the skeleton even gets to interrogate him, the guy blurts out that there are 8 of them total. He says they have 8 people. 8 people total. But before he could say another word, the guy who passed out earlier suddenly goes berserk. He takes him out with a single claw swipe. And that is not all. He grabs the corpse in his arms, chewing and draining the blood non-stop. This tastes absolutely divine. Pure and fresh. Lu Chengyu is stunned. What in the world is this freak show? By drinking blood, his stamina restores, and his stat levels increase. The guy looks completely satisfied. Hey, I was originally a 3-star ninja, but the moment that boss bit my neck, I turned into a low-level vampire. Even as a vampire, I am stuck at level 1. But I realized, as long as I keep drinking blood, I can gain stat points. Since you caught me today, do not blame me for what happens next. Low-level vampire, permanently stuck at level 1, but can boost stats by drinking blood. Lu Chengyu never guessed that he would run into a class even crazier than a necromancer. Suddenly, the guy triggers his berserk mode. In this state, all his stats increase by 20% temporarily. Lu Chengyu realizes he is a handful. He tells Han Hao and the others to fall back first. Order my skeleton squad to charge. But I did not expect the vampire to go into a violent speed burst. He broke through the skeleton soldier's encirclement in an instant. One claw swipes right into a skeleton's eye socket, and just like that, he crushed it. The vampire charges straight at Lu Chengyu. The overwhelming pressure makes his heart skip a beat. Razor-sharp claws lunge toward him. Lu Chengyu's subordinates are too far away to help. He has no choice but to raise his shield to block. However, with just one strike, Lu Chengyu's shield was cleaved in half. Yin Jisho seized the moment to attack. The vampire flashed an evil grin. Didn't expect a fierce little kitty like you. Let me have a taste of your blood first. The vampire launches an assault on Yin Jisho. Suddenly, several throwing knives came flying from behind him, but this time, he swatted them away without even turning his head. Damn it, time to show you how good I am. Han Hao unleashed his high-speed sword strike. The flying blades zoomed at the target like bullets. You camper, why are you as annoying as a fly? Suddenly, he lunged forward, appearing right in front of Han Hao. At this hair-trigger moment, the one-armed skeleton Wang Defa arrived just in time. The long blade slashed across. The vampire jerked his body to dodge. Wang Defa's splash damage skill barely missed. Lu Chengyu and Yin Jisho seized the gap, swinging their blades at him together. At the same time, Wang Defa's second wave of attacks was ready. 3 blades slashed at once. The vampire, caught completely off guard, got both his arms hacked off. Lu Chengyu seized the chance and ordered a group assault. But just then, the vampire's severed arms actually began to regenerate. It is a pity he drained too much of his health. His arms were not fully regenerated yet. Yin Jisho and Lu Chengyu's skeleton army swarmed him again. He blocked one strike, but could not stop the second. Lu Chengyu charged in while he was vulnerable. He drove his blade right into the vampire's throat. I thought you could regenerate. Go ahead, grow another head for me to see. You have slain a level 1 player. Gained 1,000 gold coins. Lu Chengyu looks shocked. Players can actually drop gold coins. Then all these guys behind him, are not they just walking piggy banks? At least 500 gold per kill. Lu Chengyu hit the jackpot this time. But since there is money to be made, it is not all for nothing. After dealing with that group of vampire players, Lu Chengyu posted about what happened on the forum, planning to warn other players not to wander into that sector. After wrapping that up, Lu Chengyu and the others headed toward Han Hao's parents' place. Luckily, Han Hao's parents were unharmed. Han Hao's parents are safe. And surprisingly, his parents were just ordinary people who had not chosen a class card. This made Lu Chengyu genuinely curious. How did 2 ordinary people manage to evade the pursuit of the demi-humans? Han Hao's father told him that he actually had a card at the very beginning, but he did not care about it and missed the selection time. As for those demi-humans, he just used a can of bug spray to chase them off. This left Han Hao, the underachiever, nearly speechless. After all this time, he is worse off than his own parents, who are just average civilians. After a good meal, Han Hao asked Lu Chengyu what the plan was next. Lu Chengyu signaled. After a quick cleanup, he planned to keep pushing forward. After all, he would only run into some half-beasts so far. There must be much stronger monsters up ahead. But for now, the real problem is figuring out their final destination. Suddenly, Han Hao was shocked to discover new content had appeared on the forum post. Among my companions, there is a player with the scout class. Among my companions, there is a player with the scout class. One of my companions is a scout. My companions include a scout player. One of my companions is a 3-star player known as a scout. Searching. It is a player with the scout class. He has established a safe zone near them. He has set up a safe zone in their vicinity. A pioneer, he has set up a safe zone to help them. Pioneers can use their unique skills to. Pioneers, because their group includes a pioneer. They can use unique skills to designate a zone. Use skills to designate a zone and keep the beasts out. A unique skill that keeps the beasts at bay. A unique skill that makes the area inaccessible to monsters. A skill that creates a zone that monsters cannot enter. A zone where monsters are unable to enter. So they decided to put the word out. They are putting the message out. They can't get in, so they are recruiting more players to join them. They are trying to pull in more human players. Seeing this post, Lu Chengyu immediately grew suspicious. They are living in a game world now. Yet here is someone spending 1,000 gold coins just to be a nameless philanthropist. This kind of subtle flexing is the deadliest kind. Lu Chengyu concluded that the guy was just chasing clout. He is definitely looking for attention. The goal is to gather all the players together, to make them look up to him as their leader. Of course, it could also be a trap set to kill people. Just as Lu Chengyu was lost in thought, Han Hao suddenly realized someone had replied to the post. The other party claims to be a 3-star pioneer, offering the space for monthly rent. Lu Chengyu fell into deep contemplation. Judging by the previous post, pioneer is a class capable of establishing safe zones, even though he did not know what they meant by monthly rent. Looking at the current situation, it is worth checking out at least. At the very least, I can get a better understanding of the pioneer class. As they left, Lu Chengyu even brought Han Hao's parents along. The group was locked and loaded. They had not even gone 2.5 kilometers when they heard the roaring sound of motorcycles. He focused his eyes to look. It was a bunch of edgy teenagers. The ringleader demanded Lu Chengyu and the others hand over their money and valuables, or there'd be hell to pay. Listening to their threats, Lu Chengyu flashed a grim, reaper-like smile. Hey, never thought I would have someone hand-delivering their heads on a platter. What a pleasant surprise. Edgy kids meet the real deal. Talk about a massive coincidence. Too coincidental, seriously. The ringleader just locked eyes with Lu Chengyu for a second, and immediately turned tail and ran. At first, Lu Chengyu thought they were just intimidated by his aura, but then he felt a sudden chill run down his back. He turned around. There were 3 wild wolves, each larger than an ox. Having grown up with his father's pack of 7 wolves, Lu Chengyu knew, once you fall in front of these beasts, you are getting your neck snapped for sure. He directed the others to slowly retreat. They retreated into a room. Lu Chengyu's heart was still racing. He knew, if those things went berserk, not even a stainless steel door could keep them out. Just as he was thinking of a plan, the wolves charged. Lu Chengyu acted without hesitation and threw a bottle. Green liquid splattered all over the beast's face. Hey, slime drool does not taste that great, right? No kidding. This is exactly the slime fluid Lu Chengyu collected earlier. It has corrosive properties, perfect for the current situation. The bottles filled with slime fluid were hurled alongside bone spears at the wild wolves. They quickly gained the upper hand by utilizing the narrow space. Just then, one agile wolf dodged the projectiles and lunged at the group. Seeing this, Lu Chengyu ordered his skeletal soldier to intercept it with its skull. That move was super effective. Lu Chengyu signaled the one-armed skeletal king, Wang Defa, to move in for the kill. The wild wolf turned into express, leveling Lu Chengyu up to level 7. He walked up to a corpse and tried to activate his summoning skill. Too bad his level was too low. He could not summon any large monsters. After walking for a few days, Lu Chengyu noticed more and more flying dragons in the sky. Even military helicopters were no match for them. This left everyone feeling worried. Lu Chengyu did not dare to take them head-on either. They had no choice but to wait for nightfall. Only when the enemies were asleep could they sneakily continue their journey. This day, Lu Chengyu and his group were taking a rest. Suddenly, a job selection panel appeared before everyone. But what shocked Lu Chengyu the most was that a selection page had appeared for him too. Please select a job connection card. Lu Chengyu was totally clueless. Could this be a secondary job? Just as he was pondering, one of the cards in front of him suddenly vanished. Looks like someone else swiped the card before him. Lu Chengyu tried his best to stay calm. If this was a job connection, then it meant the star rating did not mean everything. He had to find a job that clicked perfectly with his necromancer class. After some thought, he suddenly grabbed a card. You have selected a connection card. 3-star Black Mage. This card connects with the current job, granting new skills. This card connects with the current job. This card connects with the current job, Necromancer connection. This card connects with the current job, Pathmaker. This card connects with the current job. This card connects with the current job. Granted a new skill, Death Aura, grants a buff to undead creatures. Lu Chengyu was quite satisfied, but Han Hao, on the other hand, had a rough time. He had his sights on a 4-star card. He really wanted that 4-star card, but he got sniped by a hunter, and accidentally ended up with a 1-star priest. Han Hao was on the verge of tears, but his dad was actually thrilled, because he had pulled the 3-star Pathmaker card, and that was exactly the job Lu Chengyu's squad needed right now. Getting a 1-star job twice in a row. You can't blame all of that on Han Hao's bad luck. After all, his mom also pulled a 1-star chef card. If bad luck is hereditary, then Han Hao's dad's pull is starting to look suspicious. 3-star Pathmaker. Upon hearing what he pulled, Lu Chengyu was totally shocked. He asked him to explain the job skills. The Pathmaker builds a tent, sets up a safe zone to avoid monster attacks. The safe zone's radius is 10 meters. The safe zone has a 10-meter radius. The safe zone covers 200 square meters. Area is 200 square meters. Height is 10 meters. Depletes mana, consumes gold coins to maintain. The safe zone depletes mana and gold coins. Safe zone total defense. Consumes gold coins when mana runs out. Consumes gold coins when mana runs out. The protective barrier is just like Han Hao's father's. Yin Jisho also pulled a 3-star card. She obtained the assassin skill. This gives her much greater perception in the heat of battle. Analyzing the team's skills, Lu Chengyu decided to skip the gathering spot mentioned in the post. He was gunning for the Pathfinder class from the start anyway. They already have a full squad now. Heading there would only be a waste of energy. Just then, Lu Chengyu noticed the wyvern on the rooftop moving. He told Han Hao to hurry up and check for any nearby item shops. While the wyvern is distracted, he wanted to upgrade his own gear. But things did not go as planned. Han Hao reported that there was not a shop in sight. Suddenly, Lu Chengyu had an epiphany. Didn't that Ghostfire kid from yesterday love holding people up? Why not go ask them for some answers? Little did he know that Ghostfire kid was just a minion for a vampire. Well, is not that just my lucky day? When he tracked down the Ghostfire punk, he was busy reporting to his boss. Lu Chengyu unhesitatingly pulled out his long blade. A single strike was all it took to put the guy in his place. Lu Chengyu demanded to know who his leader was. Unexpectedly, the guy flew into a rage. Too bad he happened upon a bunch of psychos. Yin Jisho's blade combined with Han Hao's sneak attack kunai turned the vampire boss into a sitting duck. He tried to counter, but Lu Chengyu's skeletal soldiers were already flanking him. Just like that, the guy met his inevitable demise. The Ghostfire kid was hiding to the side, watching it all go down. He is turned into a total coward now. Lu Chengyu flashed him a perfectly harmless smile. Hey, now, is not it time you handed over that loot you snagged? Without breaking a sweat, he took down the Ghostfire kid. They were smart enough to hand over their gold coins to Lu Chengyu. After getting the cash, the Ghostfire kid was still supposed to lead them to the shop. But then, a red system alert suddenly popped up. What happens if someone does not draw a card during the second player selection? Watching the prompt box pulsing red, Lu Chengyu's heart started pounding. This alert brings bad vibes. Looks like the gears are starting to turn. If you miss both chances to change your class to full-fledged player, then all that is left for you is to turn into a monster. Lu Chengyu did not expect the system to be this ruthless. Just then, one of the Ghostfire kid's minions started clawing at his own head. This guy was just a regular person who did not pick a card twice. In the blink of an eye, sharp fangs sprouted from the minion's mouth. Even the fur on his back started growing rapidly. Lu Chengyu broke out in a cold sweat. What the hell kind of nightmare is this? Forget it. Time to take care of business. Wang Defa, go take him down. Right then, the minion was completely covered in fur. He had fully transformed into a werewolf. Wang Defa led the skeletal minions into the fray. You hunted down a werewolf. Received 3,000 gold coins. Level up to level 8. Lu Chengyu was stunned. Holy crap, one werewolf nets 3,000 gold coins. I mean, it is a pain in the ass to kill a single wild wolf. And that only gives you 240 gold. Looking at the corpse, Han Hao was completely rattled. Do we really have to deal with these monsters from now on? Lu Chengyu smirked. Hey, I have an idea. We can just turn them into my familiars. Rise. A massive werewolf skeleton crawled up from the ground. The sheer size of it left Lu Chengyu in shock. Looks like dealing with vampires won't be a problem. He turned back to look at the guy with the ghost fire, who had not turned into a monster yet. Now take us to the item shop, would you? On the way to the item shop, a giant bear suddenly appeared, blocking their path. Its speed and power were both way beyond what Lu Chengyu expected. But what shocked him even more was that the thing was actually chained up. Lu Chengyu suddenly realized, could it be a human bound by a curse? Did it turn into a bear man because it did not choose a class? Exactly. Lu Chengyu hit the nail on the head. At this moment, the bear man fell into a berserk state. The vampires tasked with guarding it also rushed over, prepared to restrain it. Too bad the bear man was frantic and incredibly strong. In the blink of an eye, one of the vampires was history. Lu Chengyu suddenly had an idea. Isn't this the perfect chance to kill two birds with one stone? Thinking of this, Lu Chengyu struck decisively. The vampires were taken down by the skeleton soldiers before they could even launch their second wave. The unexpected move caught the bear man completely off guard, but immediately, a werewolf skeleton came charging at him. Lu Chengyu kept a cold face. Hey, why do not you join my undead ranks too? 1 minute, he just recruited a werewolf. The next, he is handed a bear man. For a necromancer like Lu Chengyu, this was a godsend. Just then, Yin Jisho suddenly spotted a bus. She remembered that the driver who kidnapped them was driving that very bus. Could it be that he was snatched by the vampires? If that is the case, we are in trouble. Because back then, there were a lot of people on that bus. Lu Chengyu decided to pick up the pace. He told the Ghostfire kid to hurry up and find the item shop. And right at that moment, a girl next to the Ghostfire kid suddenly unlocked her inner vision. She stared at them with a wicked smirk. Hey, looks like you are the ones who wiped out my underlings. Lu Chengyu stared blankly at her. No need to ask. She must have been possessed by the vampire boss. The girl's smirk grew more and more pathetic. Hey, remember, my nickname is the Professor. Don't forget me. As soon as she finished speaking, Lu Chengyu was suddenly plunged into a void of darkness. You have been cursed. To analyze and debunk it will require holy essence. The vampire let out a wheezing, raspy laugh. But before he could finish laughing, Lu Chengyu's calculated punch landed square on his face. You think this petty curse can trap me? I have got the protagonist's plot armor. Lu Chengyu only saw a red spot appear on the back of his hand. He did not notice anything else strange. At this, Han Hao put on a holy posture. Brother, you have been afflicted by the miasma. Don't forget, I am a one-star priest. Lu Chengyu was left speechless. You are not some shaman, are you? Han Hao grabbed Lu Chengyu's hand and started casting his divine skill. Vampire Lord's signature skill. Blood pursuit. Every 12 hours. Your location will be revealed. Your holy powers are too low. Impossible to remove. Figures. Han Hao never fails to live up to his reputation of being disappointing. But I guess this is fine too. At least we know what the curse does. And just then, Lu Chengyu received a special quest from the system. Xiao He, come take out the assassin targeting me. Turn back and take out the assassins targeting you. A cutthroat method, only one side wins. A cutthroat strategy, only one side wins. Reward, 30,000 gold coins. Only then will this item be finished. Deadly, only then will this rank be finished. Deadly, only then will this, well, thing be finished. Tier C item voucher. Tier C item voucher. Lu Chengyu gives a sly grin. Looks like there are some unexpected bonuses here. But before that, I would better find the item shop first. Guided by the young boy with ghost fire, Lu Chengyu and his group found the Tier D shop. This time, the lottery used lucky balls. And the tier has leveled up to silver. 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 I just do not know if this time, Lu Chengyu can channel that legendary luck again. To land a top prize, this is a computer used for drawing prizes. I just do not know if our hero can channel his legendary luck again to land a top prize. A notification pops up in front of Lu Chengyu. You already possess one voucher. Only then did Lu Chengyu remember. He received this as a reward for wiping out 100 demi-humans earlier, but he does not plan on using it yet. Through the item panel, he discovered. The gold cost increases tenfold between each tier. The gold cost increases tenfold between each tier. Since that is the case, the voucher should be saved for the very end. The voucher should be saved for the very end. The voucher should be saved for the very end. Lu Chengyu decides to use gold for the draw this time, and right after he taps the screen, the system sends out a prompt. System, add extra balls 300. You can add more balls. Tier 2 items ball 500. Tier 2 items ball 5 balls 500. Tier 2 items ball 500. Tier 1 items ball 1000. Tier 1 items ball 1000. Number of balls is 100. Add up to 5 more. You can add at most 5. Lu Chengyu does not hesitate to add 5 Tier 1 balls. Lucky or not, who knows? Doesn't matter, just gotta pay to win. Congratulations, you have drawn a Tier 1 item. Lu Chengyu looks stunned. Damn, this is way more reliable than those microtransaction games. Rank. Obtained an artisan level skill voucher. Obtained an artisan level skill voucher. Randomly granted one job specific skill. Randomly granted one job specific skill. Randomly granted one job specific skill. Skill can be directly upgraded to artisan level. Skill can be directly upgraded to artisan level. Obtained void sanctuary. Consumption obtained void sanctuary. Can create a sanctuary for your thralls in a subspace. Can create a sanctuary for your thralls in a subspace. Can create a sanctuary for your thralls in a subspace. Keep all your thralls safe regardless of their number. You can also summon them at will. 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 Cooldown for second use, 1 hour. Cooldown for second use, 1 hour. When you need to summon multiple thralls simultaneously. When you need to summon multiple thralls simultaneously. When you need to summon multiple thralls simultaneously, a death curse will spread throughout the area. A death curse will spread throughout the area. The more thralls you have, the greater the range and effect. Nice. This is practically like getting a personal storage for summoned creatures, and it comes with a curse-based skill, too. Lu Chengyu tried storing the skeleton soldiers in his inventory. Just as the introduction said, this ability perfectly patches the hole in his combat force. Lu Chengyu hit the jackpot at home, but the others were not quite as lucky. Yin Jisho pulled a B-grade survival pack, bandages, emergency supplies, rope, and a lantern. A solid haul. She even snagged a backup survival crate. Han Hao, on the other hand, had worse luck. He pulled a basic leather belt. Han Hao wanted to keep drawing, but Lu Chengyu dragged him away. Meanwhile, In front of a building, the small-time driver is kneeling on the ground. He regrets not leaving with Lu Chengyu earlier. Now he is a slave to the vampires. And he is not the only one. The other students in the bus met the same fate. He originally followed a post online to find this place. Little did he know, it was crawling with monsters wearing human skin. The strong were made into slaves. The weak ones became their lackeys, and those with no use at all ended up as food for the vampires. Just as the driver was sinking into despair, a familiar figure appeared before them. Is that Wang Defa, the armless skeleton king? Don't tell me. He is actually here. When vampires meet a necromancer, who really stands at the top? The moment he saw Wang Defa, the driver knew that man had arrived. The vampires had no idea who the skeleton was. They just assumed it was some mutated goon. The vampires lunged forward. Wang Defa stood his ground, blade ready. The vampires fell instantly, wailing in pain. Each one had their body skewered by 2 bone spears. Hey, driver. Been a few days. How'd you get so pathetic? Just then, the vampires on the floor suddenly erupted, trying to rush Lu Chengyu. Too bad the skeleton soldiers were already waiting. Lu Chengyu said coldly, "Kill them all. Just save me one." The vampires collapsed like house of cards. Soon, there was only one left. Lu Chengyu questioned him about their numbers and levels. The vampire was terrified, surrounded by a bunch of bulky skeletons. He had no spirit left to fight. He stammered out the truth. There is a level 5 vampire section chief in the factory. There are 12 players held captive. The highest level among them is only level 4. Seeing the guy was being honest, Lu Chengyu ended him quickly. After taking out the vampires outside, Lu Chengyu entered the factory. He was like a tiger in a sheep pen. Lu Chengyu had an evil grin. He immediately cast Mass Descent. A purple fog filled with death energy shrouded the entire factory. The vampires did not even have a chance to react. They were clueless. The next second, skeletons emerged from the purple mist right beside Lu Chengyu. You have been hit by the death curse. Stats significantly reduced. The vampires were scared out of their wits. The leader was still trying to fight back. But you can't kill infinite skeletons. He realized that Lu Chengyu was the master of these skeletons. Take him out and the skeleton problem is solved. Too bad he guessed the start but guessed the end wrong. Before he could get close, Han Hao, that crafty fox, tossed the slime acid. The vampire hissed as he began to corrosively smoke. But that was just the beginning. Yin Jisho's long blade sliced through the gate. The death-dealing driver is back on the bus. The survivors trapped in the factory see a glimmer of hope. Even now, the vampire wants to fight back. But Wang Defa has already charged in. One swing, one kill. Just like a possessed maniac. The vampire's mind wants to keep up, but its body just can't follow suit. Because the one-armed skeleton Wang Defa never lets me down. They are just a bunch of vampire lackeys. Cutting them down is a breeze. However, right when the last one is about to be finished off, a voice suddenly echoes in the vampire's mind. Branch Chief, I am lending you my power. You must wipe these guys out. Fresh blood erupts from within its body. Witnessing this scene, Lu Chengyu is also taken aback. The vampire's limbs grow thick and bulky. The high-level vampire goes berserk. Looking at the system notification, Lu Chengyu shows a trace of a cynical smile instead. So this is your true form, huh? To get stronger, you really have stopped acting like a human. The vampire lets out a roar, charging straight at Lu Chengyu. Its arms have turned blood red and massive, but before it can close the distance, the skeleton soldiers swarm it. After going berserk, the vampire's stats have increased. The half-beast skeleton soldiers are being crushed one by one. Seeing this, Yin Jisho seizes the chance to charge in. With a quick strike, she slashes the enemy's back. Immediately after, she grabs Wang Defa and swings him with all her might. The one-armed skeleton was used as a weapon for the first time. Blood sprays from the vampire's waist. This hit completely enrages it. It goes crazy, slaughtering the skeletons around it. Lu Chengyu feels the pressure mounting. Even though he still has quite a few half-beast skeletons in his subspace, the enemy is clearing them out way too fast. Although the berserk state won't last, and will soon lead to physical burnout. Before that happens, Lu Chengyu's skeletons simply won't be able to hold on. Once the half-beast skeleton frontline is broken, they will definitely be in trouble. Just then, Lu Chengyu's gaze suddenly sweeps over a body nearby. It is a werewolf corpse. Rise up, Lu Chengyu shouts. The corner of his mouth begins to curl upward. Hey, I will make good use of this corpse. Group formed. Activating set bonus. 3-headed Hellhound Guardian. Effect, physical attack plus 10% 3 plus canine type creatures. 3 plus canine type creatures. Elite canine type creatures 0%. Elite attack speed plus 10%, spirit plus 10%. Attack speed plus 10%, spirit plus 10% enemy. Elite attack speed plus 10%, spirit plus 10%. Attack speed plus 10%, spirit plus 10%. The 3 werewolves pounce on the target like hellhounds. They start tearing into it frantically. The vampire is totally dumbfounded. Why did these guys suddenly get so powerful? But before it can wrap its head around this, Lu Chengyu slowly approaches with his bone spear. Tell your boss. Next, I am coming for him. You have slain a special player. Gain 10,000 gold coins. The bone spear is pulled out of the vampire's body. Lu Chengyu looks stunned. It really was a special player. When I finished off that other player vampire, before, I had to chop its head off, which made it impossible to summon. This time it is different. Rise up, my slave. A massive skeleton rises from the ground, and right at that moment, the system sends a notification. Fragments of the deceased's memories detected. Extract them. Lu Chengyu looks stunned. Memory fragments. Can I actually see the memories of my kills? Just how OP is this necromancer class anyway? Not only can I turn corpses into underlings, but I can also read the memories of the dead. After turning the vampire into a skeleton soldier, Lu Chengyu reads his memory fragments. He finds out from those memories that the vampires have formed a corporate-like organization, and the one Lu Chengyu just finished off was only a branch manager. Above them is the vampire CEO. Word is, he has received a mysterious mission. He is planning a feast in Sector F where humans are the main course. The one Lu Chengyu killed was just in charge of logistics and sourcing the livestock. That is why he entered Sector F early. Seeing this, Lu Chengyu's entire worldview is shattered. Human cattle farming, gladiator slaves, mass slaughter parties. I never imagined the vampires would come up with such a twisted plan. So that recruitment trick to lure humans in was the core of their entire scheme. Suddenly, Lu Chengyu receives an urgent system quest. Controller of the dead, your choice determines the fate of the masses. Stop the war or exploit the war. Reward exclusive skill, destiny. Your decision will directly impact your own fate. Lu Chengyu looks shocked. Since the professor passed away, this is the second time I have received a special class quest. What exactly does this system want from me? Meanwhile, the vampire CEO has already sensed his branch manager's death. Although he does not know how, Lu Chengyu managed to use those skeletons to take out his subordinate. It is sure giving him a massive headache. The woman behind him asks with genuine concern, is the plan facing some interference? The vampire CEO opens his quest log, saying with a grim look, right now we should stay focused on the mission. But this brat keeps acting up. It is honestly starting to get on my nerves. But since I can track their location through the curse, once the feast is over, it will be time to settle the score. On the other side, Lu Chengyu does not plan to reveal the vampire's scheme to everyone yet. He has only shared it with Yin Jisho and Han Hao, because he knows, if he carelessly exposes them now, the vampires will surely panic and change their plans. He would lose the advantage of knowing what they are up to. Having dealt with the vampire, the group finds quite a few useful items in the warehouse. Among them is a vial of medicine that can cure the infection. Lu Chengyu uses the medicine on the ghost fire youth, helping them successfully break free from the vampire's control. Not only that, he also gives them some gold coins to let them infiltrate the vampire group and gather intel for him, because from now on, Lu Chengyu is officially declaring war on the vampires. Almost a week has passed since the end of the world began. The players finally face their first main quest, and so many are just struggling to adapt to the new reality. Main quest alert. Event lasts for 7 days. Notice, this event lasts for 7 days. Notice, this event lasts for 7 days. Notice, this event lasts for 7 days. During this period, you can earn double the gold coins. During this period, you can earn double the gold coins. During this period, you can earn double the gold coins. During this period, you can earn double the gold coins for all kills. Players, when hunting beastmen, will receive bonuses. Players hunting beastmen receive a link card 1. Chance to obtain a link card. When players hunt beastmen, there is a chance to obtain a link card. Monster BOSSs also have a chance to drop link cards. A chance to obtain a link card. This place is no exception. No zone is safe. Every area has its own monster boss. Every area has its own monster boss. Getting them in the Hachen zone will spawn a monster boss. It is a great chance to get super powerful items. A great opportunity for those who dare to take the risk to get super items. It is a great chance to get super powerful items. For Lu Chengyu, this is a good thing. Before deciding to fight the vampires, it is necessary to boost my own strength. After settling everyone down, Lu Chengyu set off with Han Hao, Yin Jisho, and the Death Driver. They arrived at an abandoned car dealership. A group of goblin-like monsters were hiding behind the cars. These were exactly the monsters Lu Chengyu came to hunt. Dog-headed men. Unlike goblins, they are magic-wielding beasts. High attack power and destructive capability. It is just a shame their defense is weak. Lu Chengyu and Han Hao hid behind a car. The werewolf skeleton soldiers moved in for the kill. In just a moment, they wiped out every monster in the parking lot. Lu Chengyu gave a cold look at the corpses on the ground. The goal of this trip, besides leveling up, was to find the beastman, because a single beastman can easily tear apart 3 or 4 low-level vampires. So these dog-headed men on the ground, even if they have magic, are not worth it for him to recruit as subordinates. To find stronger monsters, they decided to head inside the shopping mall. Based on past experience, places where more people gathered must have large numbers of monsters. Lu Chengyu believed this place must have once had a tutorial dungeon. They stepped through the mall entrance, just as Lu Chengyu expected. Looking for a way to escape the building, it was just as Lu Chengyu thought. Finding a way to escape. This is the stronghold of the dog-headed mages. Just as he was curiously looking around, Yin Jisho suddenly noticed something unusual. A massive magic circle appeared beneath their feet. Before they could react, the circle was activated. They were instantly teleported to different corners. Han Hao, the sneaky one, fell into a warehouse. In the empty room besides him, there were only dog-headed men left. Han Hao looked calm but was actually terrified inside. When the dog-headed men charged at him, Han Hao was already thinking about where to bury himself. However, the daggers struck his head. Han Hao did not die as expected. That was when he remembered. He had previously obtained a skill he thought was useless. Killing an enemy grants a 10-second protective shield. Han Hao stood his ground. At the same time, after reuniting with the Death Driver, Yin Jisho immediately went looking for Han Hao. In their eyes, a bottom feeder like Han Hao would not last a second against these beasts. However, when they found him, they were stunned. He had actually taken out a whole room of dog-headed men by himself. Regardless of whether it was luck, at least the 3 of them were safe together, and now only Lu Chengyu was left. But they were not worried about him. They were more concerned that those dog-headed men would not be enough for Lu Chengyu to kill. This is a dragon egg that can hatch a divine beast. Unfortunately, it can only be used by a dragon knight. After Lu Chengyu was teleported to another room by the magic circle, he led his skeleton minions on a rampage. He soon arrived in a room full of shelves. Here, he discovered an injured player. Judging by his wounds, he is clearly a goner. With a trembling hand, the man pointed toward a box on the shelf. Lu Chengyu thought he was trying to tell him that there was something life-saving inside, but when he opened it, he found a dragon egg instead, and a top-tier legendary item for the 5-star Dragon Knight class at that. A 5-star Dragon Knights exclusive item. 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 Lu Chengyu was stunned. Right at that moment, the man coughed up a pool of blood. He wheezed out his final words. The monster boss. He stole the token. The moment he finished speaking, the man's head slumped down. Lu Chengyu felt sorry for him. To think a 5-star Dragon Knight died right here. What a damn shame. Needless to say, the poor guy must have stumbled into this dungeon by mistake, and ended up getting his loot jacked by the boss. According to the item description, Dragon Knight is a class with massive late-game potential. Too bad he could not hold out until then. Lu Chengyu looked at the egg in his hands. Clearly, this was definitely a dragon egg, since the guy fought to the death to hand it over to him. That alone proved how important this egg was. He packed the egg away. Lu Chengyu led his minions to press forward, like slicing through butter. He decided to go pay the boss a visit himself, even if it was just to get revenge for this guy. After walking for a while, Lu Chengyu suddenly felt like something was off. Regardless of how many dog-headed men he killed, the enemy forces would not let up. Are they just trying to stall for time? But this kind of stalling won't really make a dent. Lu Chengyu could not make sense of it, so he stopped trying. He just kept clearing the path. Soon enough, he leveled up again. This time he picked a random skill, Corpse Explosion. Using corpses as triggers. Using corpses as triggers. Just then, a pack of dog-headed men rushed them. Lu Chengyu held back his skeleton minions, a wicked smirk on his face. Hey, time to test out my new skill. A blinding flash lit up the dog-headed men's eyes. A massive blast rocked the room. On the other side, the dog-headed men inside the boss room heard the explosion too. They prepared to open the door to investigate. But right at that moment, Wang Defa charged in with a single blade. Clean, swift execution. One dog-headed man lost his head. The dog-headed mage at the back immediately started chanting. Too slow, buddy. After clearing the room of dog-headed men, Lu Chengyu finally got a look at the situation. Tree roots were everywhere. One of the dog-headed men was wrapped in them. The boss, the dog-headed high mage, had appeared. He was shielded by a powerful protective barrier. Normal attacks could not break through it. I need to destroy the dungeon core. Lu Chengyu scoffed. Even if this barrier is unbreakable, that guy is still trapped in those roots, is not he? Seems like other than stalling for time, it is pretty useless. However, just then, a red alert box popped up. The dog-headed mage is casting instant kill. All players below level 10 will be instantly killed. All players below level 10 will be instantly killed. All players below level 10 will be instantly killed. Stop him before the time's up. One-hit wonder. Players below level 10 will be instantly obliterated when the time runs out. 101.00.301 players below level 10 will be instantly obliterated when the time runs out. Seeing this notification, Lu Chengyu could not help but frown. None of the few people who entered this dungeon are level 10 yet. No wonder those dog-faced freaks were charging at me like maniacs earlier. They were definitely stalling for time. Lu Chengyu cursed under his breath. He ordered his skeleton soldiers to haul the corpses away. Soon, the dogmen were surrounded by a pile of bodies. He looked completely bewildered. What kind of cheap trick are these damned humans pulling now? Lu Chengyu chuckled and slowly closed the door. Sorry to keep you waiting, dogman. Blow them all to hell. A blinding flash of light lit up the room. The deafening sound of explosions echoed endlessly. The entire room began to collapse from the tremors. Lu Chengyu stared at his handiwork and cursed. I thought I just had some serious firepower. Well, this is problematic. The dogman cowered within its protective barrier, tucked away at the tree roots. Suddenly, a glimmer of light shot from its eyes. The boss is sacrificing its own life force to shorten the magic array duration. Well, look at that. Desperation makes you do crazy things, huh? The timer just got cut in half. After wishing the dogman's entire bloodline a pleasant afterlife, Lu Chengyu led his skeleton minions to hunt for the core. Not long after, he discovered one of them. Wang Defa struck, shattering it with a single swing. System notification. One core has been destroyed. Lu Chengyu panted heavily as he scanned his surroundings. Only the roof and the first floor left to search. If I pick up the pace, I still have a chance. It is lucky there are so many dogmen around here. Summoning them does not just help with the search, but I can also extract their memories. Lu Chengyu extracted the memory fragments of the dogman mage. Even though the images were blurry, they still gave him a general idea of the core's location. Lu Chengyu sprinted toward the appliance section on the first floor. Upon arriving, he discovered there were many dogman corpses on the ground. Did Yin Jisho and her group take them out? Before Lu Chengyu could figure it out, the system suddenly sent a notification. You have destroyed a dungeon core. Lu Chengyu felt a surge of excitement. Awesome. Looks like everyone knows about the one-hit kill magic now. Just then, a strange noise echoed from around the corner. Lu Chengyu thought something had happened to his companions. He urged Wang Defa to hurry forward. And right at that moment, Han Hao emerged, dragging a dogman with him. Senior Lu, are not you a bit too slow? Lu Chengyu was completely dumbfounded. Is that really that loser? Is that really that loser? Yin Jisho also ran out from behind him. He had no time to explain Han Hao's situation to her. He signaled that they needed to rush and find the final core. 13 minutes remaining. More and more dogmen kept crawling out. Lu Chengyu found the location of the core, but there were just too many of them. Even with one kill per swing, I can't keep up with their reinforcements. With time running dangerously thin, Lu Chengyu called out to Wang Defa. He scooped him up and launched him into the air. Wang Defa used the momentum to vault over the heads of the dogmen. With a slash of the blade, the core was split in two. You have destroyed a dungeon core. The protective barrier has been disabled. This dogman caused me so much trouble. Next, I am going to make him suffer. Talk about asking for a death wish. Lu Chengyu shattered the core. He thought the dog-faced guy was tapped out. Just when he was about to slowly grind him into dust, the dog-faced mutant suddenly erupted. Countless branches burst from its maw. Lu Chengyu cursed in shock. Damn it. I should not have been showboating. The real boss, the Sylvan Spirit, has appeared. The dog-faced mage had transformed into a towering wooden behemoth. It roared and charged at the group. Lu Chengyu and the others scrambled back in a panic. Suddenly, a massive tree trunk crashed down from above. They dodged by a hair's breadth. A skeleton soldier failed to react in time. Its body was shattered in an instant. Yin Jisho would not be outdone. She imbued her weapon with fire energy. Since it is made of wood, it must be deathly afraid of fire, right? Her blade sliced through the monster's branches. But immediately, green energy oozed out from its body. It has regenerative powers. Lu Chengyu shouted, bad news. He tossed two corpses and instantly triggered corpse explosion. Flames from the blast engulfed the monster's back. Yet, the green energy quickly blanketed its entire body again. Lu Chengyu's attack speed could not keep up with its regeneration. Even so, Lu Chengyu kept up the assault nonstop. Suddenly, the monster sensed something off. System alert. Enemy out of mana. Starting to drain stamina. Lu Chengyu grinned and pulled out a bead. That is right. Effect. Imbue target with devil affinity. That is right. It is the power of the demon bloodstone. It is the power of the demon bloodstone. It is the power of the demon bloodstone. The monster finally reacted. It lunged at Lu Chengyu in a rage. Just then, a beam of light flared from the top of its head. That is the signal. Everyone, retreat. As Lu Chengyu shouted, All the skeletons bolted. The monster's strike hit nothing but air, sending it face-planting into the dirt. Before it could crawl back up, Lu Chengyu and the others had already cleared the room. Hey, didn't you notice my skeleton count dropped from the start? I prepped a big gift for you on the first floor. Turns out, from the very beginning, Lu Chengyu had the skeletons collect corpses on the first floor, all for this single massive corpse explosion, burying the monster right here. A deafening blast echoed through the sky. Rubble rained down from the ceiling. You have slain the Sylvan Spirit Boss. Gain 12,840 gold coins. Congratulations, you have leveled up to level 10. System reward, gotcha ticket. You are the 69th player to reach level 10. Since you reached a special milestone, bound familiar limit +5. Lu Chengyu looked thrilled. If I pull a skill that boosts familiar capacity, I will be taking off in no time. Draw random skill. Cooldown 30 minutes. Answer of the Dead. Cooldown 30 minutes. Can summon 10 ownerless zombies from the abyss. Cooldown 30 minutes. These entities do not count toward your familiar limit. Lu Chengyu was stunned. Zombies. And 10 of them, plus my own familiars. That means I can command 25 summons at once. And this boss dropped the Dragon Knight's keepsake too. Looks like I have got the power to take down vampires now. Hatching a dragon egg actually takes 13 years. Even a saint would head for the hills in tears. After taking out the tree monster, Lu Chengyu secured the Dragon Knight's keepsake. A sword without a master. Effect stats +6. This blade is the key to waking whatever's hiding inside that mysterious egg. However, your current class does not meet the requirements. Access denied. To prove your worth and gain access, you need to nurture this egg for 500 days. But whenever you drench the shell in the blood of strong enemies, the egg acknowledges you, and the hatching time accelerates. Lu Chengyu was speechless. 13 years. That is long enough to teach a chicken how to play basketball. Looks like I will have to farm some high-level monsters to speed up the process. At least, luckily for me, this weapon actually gives me +6 spirit. And a weapon like this should not break that easily. Just then, Han Hao alerted Lu Chengyu that his phone was buzzing. He spent 300 points to pull it out. It was a secret message from his ghost fire underling. Another secret message from the underling. The one he sent to act as an undercover agent. The one he sent to act as an undercover agent. The one he sent to act as an undercover agent. The one he sent to act as an undercover agent. Now, the decoded message is here. He spotted a huge group of people gathered at Lucky Square in Sector F. Although no vampires have shown up yet, he suspects they are behind this. Putting his phone away, Lu Chengyu prepared to head out. But all of a sudden, his skeletal soldier gestured toward the second-floor basement. Following its lead, Lu Chengyu found 2 werewolf corpses on the second floor. Didn't expect the tree monster to give me a parting gift like this. Get up. 2 werewolf skeletons crawled to their feet. Lu Chengyu now commanded a bearman, plus vampires, werewolves, and beastmen, 15 formidable skeletons in total. It is time to settle the score with the vampires. Meanwhile, the vampires appeared at Lucky Square. They stared at the humans in the square with pure excitement, like they were picking their next meal. Just then, a vampire in a down jacket walked over. Get ready, everyone. We are going to hunt down that guy who ambushed the factory. The group looked confused. Didn't the boss say to wait until the banquet was over? Things have changed. That guy is already nearby. This comes directly from the CEO's orders. Let us rip him to shreds. The vampire squad marched in formation, chasing towards Lu Chengyu's location. Because Lu Chengyu had been hit by the vampire's curse before, his position was constantly exposed to them. What they did not know was, Lu Chengyu was actually using that to set a trap for them. The vampire squad reached a building. Suddenly, they noticed a wild wolf corpse not far away. Judging by the wounds on the wolf, they assumed it was Lu Chengyu's handiwork. Just then, the vampire in the down jacket noticed bloodstains on the ground. He let out a mocking laugh. This punk could not even clean up his own tracks properly. Guess he is really not that special after all. Several underlings followed the bloodstains into the building. The vampires thought Lu Chengyu was nothing but a rookie. With a single command, they all charged inside. Little did they know, this building was actually the graveyard Lu Chengyu had set for them. Never step blindly into a necromancer's domain. The vampire squad approached aggressively. When they saw only 3 skeletons behind Lu Chengyu, they let out another mocking jibe. Is that all the boneheads you have got? Doesn't matter anyway. Just keep your neck clean, that is all I need. Seeing this, Lu Chengyu put on a show of pure terror, turned around and bolted for his life. Seeing this scene, the vampire grows even more excited. What an absolute moron. He actually ran into a dead end. Lu Chengyu suddenly stopped. He turned around and said with a grim expression, "Hey, you guys are the ones walking right into a trap." The vampire stopped, looking at him with a bewildered expression. Lu Chengyu flashed a grim reaper-like smile, ready to welcome the arrival of death. Great soul summoning, activate. Massive skeletal warriors emerged from the dimensional portal. And that is not all. Lu Chengyu simultaneously triggered Death's reply. Zombies rose from the ground one after another. This totally stunned the vampire squad. Lu Chengyu sat down to the side, relaxed, calmly watching his skeleton minions farm experience. The commander's buff from Wang Defa boosted his troops' attack power. Command buff active, attack power increased. Defense plus 5%, commander's buff active. Defense increased plus 5%. Defense power boosted. Wang Defa's command effect buffs attack power further. Increased defense plus 5%. And it did not stop there. Under the effects of Death Curse, Frailty Curse, and the Bloodstone debuffs, the vampire squad fell into total disarray. They could not even break through the skeleton's defensive circle. Of course, there were a few gifted vampires among them. One who could normally take on 3 werewolves solo, even while burdened by various negative buffs, still had the strength to take down Lu Chengyu's zombies. After brushing off a wave of zombie attacks, the vampire charged straight toward Lu Chengyu. At this moment, no skeletons stood in his way. He felt confident he could take his opponent out in one hit. However, Lu Chengyu just gave him a listless glance, as if looking at a complete idiot. Brother, that is not how you play this game. Don't you know zombies are just corpses too? With blue-flamed fingers pointed at his target. Corpse explosion. Activate. Before the vampire could even get close, a massive explosion erupted from beneath his feet. The vampire collapsed, blasted to the ground. Lu Chengyu looked at him with a mocking grin. You just looked like a moth flying into a flame. The wolf skeleton warriors swarmed him, tearing him apart in a frenzy. The vampire's body went limp, but his mouth remained defiant. Do you think you can stop the boss like this? You will never know how great he is. Lu Chengyu was not interested in wasting words. He thrust his dual swords deep into him. You have slain a special player. Gained 20,000 gold coins. Blood splashed all over the place. Time remaining to prove qualifications, 4,949 days. Lu Chengyu ordered his troops to collect the intact corpses. It is time to expand the army. Vampire skeletons rose from the ground. Squad buff effect triggered. Bloodthirsty ones. Steal health when attacking. Enters a frenzied state before breaking power limits. Overall stats increased by 10%. Just then, a message notification popped up. Lu Chengyu received a message from Yin Jisho. Lu Chengyu received a message from Yin Jisho. He had infiltrated the vampire base with Yin Jisho and Han Hao. He had infiltrated the vampire base with Yin Jisho and Han Hao. He had ordered Yin Jisho and Han Hao to infiltrate the vampire camp. He had ordered Yin Jisho and Han Hao to infiltrate the vampire camp. It seems there has been some movement on their end. They must have finally sensed that their elite guard was wiped out. Lu Chengyu looked coldly at his troop interface. His own skeletal army configuration was nearly perfect now. The tide of battle has already turned. It is time to end this fight. The apocalypse is here. Average Joes are nothing but snacks for the vampires. After taking down the vampire CEO's personal guard, he initiated his feast plan early. Ignorant civilians were lured to the vampire headquarters. Yin Jisho and Han Hao were mixed in among them. What they did not expect was being frisked and stripped of their weapons. Just then, the boy with the ghost fire squeezed through the crowd. He whispered into Yin Jisho's ear, "I have already hidden your weapon." It turned out one of his lackeys was a 2-star thief, capable of bypassing the vampire thug's search. Everyone filed inside. Suddenly, the vampire CEO stomped out, furious. Damn it. I sent so many people out. How did they all get wiped out? Yin Jisho and the others stared intently at him. Anyone wearing a mask must be a vampire. They are just hiding their fangs. Yin Jisho shot a glance at the weapon stashed behind the flowers. Preparing for battle, the vampire CEO approached the crowd with a raspy laugh. Human evolution has come to a stop, and you lot are just scapegoats for the plan. As he spoke, he ripped off his mask. The thugs on the perimeter started tapping their clubs. The people went from shock to panic. The whole sequence took less than 2.5 minutes. The vampires pulled off their masks, revealed their fangs, and prepared to feast. Panic-stricken, the people tried to escape, only to discover the clubs were linked together to form an electric barrier. Just as everyone fell into despair, Yin Jisho brandished her knife and shouted, "Get behind me." The vampire looked surprised. Why does she have a weapon? But before they could process it, a bus came crashing in. The electric barrier was shattered instantly. Several vampires who could not dodge were crushed and broken. The driver was none other than the deadly wheelman. Han Hao ordered everyone to get on quickly. Watching the scene unfold, the vampire CEO's veins were popping. At that moment, Lu Chengyu stepped off the bus. "Hey, Mosquito Boss. I hope I am not late for your feast." The vampire CEO stepped forward. "Hey, just in time. I needed an appetizer anyway." As he walked toward Lu Chengyu, the vampire CEO ordered the woman beside him to hunt down the civilians. The woman lunged forward instantly. "Trainee, follow me. The rest of you, stay and help the boss." The vampire CEO looked at Lu Chengyu with a mocking grin. "Ah, why are not you going to stop her? Hey. No need to use a cannon to kill a mosquito. The next second, a massive skeletal hand ripped through the bus roof. The skeletal werewolf leaped up, rushing headlong toward the vampire CEO. The vampire flashed a dismissive smile. You are using this to test my executives. As he spoke, he slashed his claws, instantly decapitating the werewolf. Yet Lu Chengyu was not worried at all. He watched the enemy with a subtle smile. Since it is a feast, how could I come empty-handed? The vampire looked completely bewildered. Goblin corpses were packed inside the werewolf's body. What the hell is this circus? But before he could figure it out, they detonated right in front of him. The lackeys beside him were all stunned. Are we being written off the show? No way. Grab that guy. I saw Lu Chengyu dash toward a bus. The vampires swarmed after him, but once inside, they were all stunned. Lu Chengyu was nowhere to be found. Instead, the bus was packed with monster corpses. They looked up. The bus roof had a massive hole in it. Lu Chengyu was standing nearby. Hey, let us wreck this joint. Death bus, activate. Using myself as bait to wipe out the low-level vampires. It only took Lu Chengyu 2.5 minutes to clear out most of the small fries. Watching the bus burning in flames, Lu Chengyu knew the battle had just begun. The vampire CEO, Luo De, charged out of the inferno. Fully transformed, he was in a total berserker rage. I knew it would not be that easy. Rise up. Skeleton soldiers. The half-beastmen charged at the front. Lu Chengyu planned to use the spear to keep him at bay, but in that berserk form, Luo De's strength and speed were off the charts. Even with my stat debuffs, the half-beastman could not last 2 rounds. Luo De bulldozed his way right toward Lu Chengyu. Seeing this, Lu Chengyu triggered the corpse explosion. The ground beneath Luo De turned into a muddy trap. Zombies crawled up from the depths, clawing at him like crazy. Luo De roared and shook them off. Do you think this trash can stop me? But zombies are different from skeleton soldiers. As long as the head is intact, they will keep biting down on their target. Luo De was getting annoyed by the swarm, but Lu Chengyu did not intend to hold him back with just those. He was setting up a corpse explosion. Luo De crossed his arms, surrounded by a blood-red aura. Suddenly, he let out a roar. Blood barrier. And just like that, the explosion was negated. Lu Chengyu was stunned. To think he could vaporize blood mist, and then detonate it through sheer pressure. This guy is a real headache. Since that is the play, I will send in 3 empowered werewolves. But what Lu Chengyu did not expect was, Luo De only needed 1 move to wipe out the 3 werewolves. While visibly shocked, Lu Chengyu ordered his subordinates to keep their distance. Though for Luo De, ranged attacks felt like child's play. I guess this is the absolute limit for an unevolved human. Just then, a woman's piercing scream echoed in Luo De's mind. CEO, save me. Turns out, just before he fought Lu Chengyu, the woman chasing the bus also heard the explosion. She ordered her subordinates to speed up, but when she turned around, all her little trainees had been wasted. It took 2.5 years to train them, and they were wiped out in an instant. The woman's eyes flared red. A sense of danger welled up in her. She dodged instinctively. The one who attacked was none other than Yin Jisho with her dual blades. The woman let out a mocking laugh. Oh, who do we have here? A little cherry ready for picking. Still wet behind the ears, huh? Even if the CEO is not interested in you, my trainees would be more than happy to break you in. Yin Jisho shot her an icy glare. You old hag, you sure talk a lot of nonsense. She is an innocent girl. And you are just a sadist. Even 10 Yin Jisho might not be able to take him down. But when it comes to a real fight, the vampire is a bit lacking. Although the vampire's speed and strength are superior to ordinary players, Yin Jisho grew strong through actual life and death hunts. It is not just about her levels and stats. What matters more is her combat experience. The vampire, however, was just spoon-fed by Luo with fresh blood, with almost 0 combat experience. After taking the vampire down, Yin Jisho let out a sigh of relief. Lu Chengyu's plan consists of 3 steps. He is in charge of intercepting the chasing vampires. Han Hao is responsible for leading the evacuation of the survivors, and Lu Chengyu is handling the main boss. In theory, Han Hao had the easiest job. Pity they got spotted by a vampire. The vampire looked at the pair with a smug expression. Are you planning on surrendering without a fight? Or are you here to help me level up? The Ghost Fireboy did not waste any words either. The Ghost Fireboy did not waste any words either. The Ghost Fireboy did not waste any words either. He charged straight at the target. Han Hao, this vampire does not look too bright. Let us just take him out right now. Han Hao was left speechless. I think you are the one who is not too bright. The vampire dodged the Ghost Fireboy's attack effortlessly. A blink later, he was already behind him. His razor-sharp fangs aimed right for the back of his neck. Suddenly, a gust of wind struck from behind. The old 6 flying blade was already upon him. The vampire scrambled to avoid it. But in that exact split second, the Ghost Fireboy's charged punch landed its mark. The vampire was sent flying into the air. Han Hao's flying blade whistled through the air like a targeted missile. Clang! The vampire collapsed to the ground. Han Hao was in total disbelief. I actually took down a vampire. Is this for real? Wait, I did not get any gold coin notification. That means he is not dead yet. You are right. The vampire stood up with a wicked grin on his face. Look, you have even scratched my handsome face. Have you thought about how you are going to compensate me? The tides of battle turned. Both of them were knocked to the ground. The vampire looked down at them, mockingly. Would be ashamed to finish you two off just like that. Why did not you join us instead? You see, in this world full of monsters, only by clinging to the strong can you survive. Faced with the vampire's lecture, Han Hao sneered in disdain. You make a fair point, but the side I chose seems a lot stronger than yours. Suddenly, a motorcycle zoomed toward the vampire. In that fleeting moment when he turned to look, Han Hao launched his flying blade. The vampire twisted his body and laughed maniacally. Stupid humans, are you in such a hurry to have your heads served on a platter? But the blade did not stop. It pierced straight into the motorcyclist's chest. Did you think Han Hao actually missed? No, the old six move never fails. Carried by the motorcyclist was a tied-up goblin. He was Han Hao's true target all along. Slaying a monster grants him a brief moment of invincibility. Now Han Hao has finally regained his footing. The vampire did not believe such a broken ability could last forever. He kept launching relentless attacks. However, he guessed the start, but failed to guess the outcome. Every time Han Hao's invincibility effect was about to wear off, there would be a little surprise, delivering another tied goblin straight to his blade. Han Hao kept his serious gaze locked on the target. Remember what I told you. The only ones who survive in this apocalypse are the cunning ones. Having already lost two of his top lieutenants, the vampire load has completely lost it. But in Lu Chengyu's eyes, a vampire has way too many weaknesses. First, they can't use weapons, which severely limits their attack range and options. Second, their regeneration. This ability makes vampires pitifully lacking in defense. Third, vampires have no mana. Every single skill requires fresh blood to activate. Speaking of which, Lu Chengyu silently held up a bead, one that drains stamina. A blood magic stone, it drains the target's stamina, used when the opponent runs dry to sap their remaining vitality. Lode was shocked. He had been in a blood frenzy state, completely missing Lu Chengyu's subtle move. Lu Chengyu looked at him calmly and made a throat-slitting gesture. Of course, you have one fatal flaw. You talk way too much. Lode was beyond furious. In a blind rage, he triggered Earth Shatter Blood and lunged at Lu Chengyu. I will use your blood to replace what I have lost. The one-armed skeleton, Wang Defa, intercepted him. A mere goblin thinks he can stop me. Barely had the words left Lode's mouth when Wang Defa triggered his torrent skill. Lode took a blade to the midsection. He turned around and cursed in fury. But just then, Wang Defa tossed out a bottle of green liquid. It was corrosive slime residue. The fluid splashed across Lode's face. He let out a pained shriek. Hey, that last bottle of slime goo truly came in handy. Lode's vision gradually blurred as the acid ate away at his eyes. Having already consumed so much blood earlier, he had no energy left for regenerative healing. Lu Chengyu looked at him and said coldly, "Time to wrap this up." Lode had lost his sight, but his senses remained. He flailed his claws wildly in every direction, hoping to break through to safety. Lu Chengyu saw through his intentions. But what good would such a desperate struggle do? Suddenly, Lode smelled blood. It was leaking from the corpses of wild wolves left around the campsite. Even though it had been a while, it was starting to spoil. But in his state, he did not care about that anymore. He shoved the skeleton soldier aside and bolted toward the wolf carcasses. Unfortunately for him, he forgot who Lu Chengyu was. Lu Chengyu pointed at the wild wolf carcass on the roof. Get up. What Lode thought was food was actually a monster waiting to end him. A sharp bone spear pierced him through his chest. Lode screamed out in agony. Lu Chengyu walked up to his side with a cold look. Since your opening performance was so grand, the finale should be just as spectacular, right? The skeleton soldier shoved him into the building. Lode was terrified. He could dimly see corpses of his own subordinates everywhere. Lu Chengyu's icy voice echoed. I hope you and your men have a happy life in hell. The corpse exploded in a blaze of fire reaching for the sky. You have hunted a special player. Received 10,000 gold coins. You have completed a special mission. Reward 30,000 gold coins. C rank item coupon. Special skill reward has been granted. Your destiny has shifted slightly. A tall tree catches the most wind. Having just wiped out the vampire organization, figures from the military came calling. While everyone was still confused, one of Lu Chengyu's old acquaintances appeared. I was just wondering who pulled off such an impressive wipeout. Didn't expect to run into you here, though. The man was none other than the Captain Jin that Lu Chengyu had saved before. Captain Jin, that sharp-eyed soldier. After some casual back and forth, Captain Jin filled Lu Chengyu in. They had been keeping the vampire organization under surveillance for a while, but just yesterday, they noticed the whole gang had been wiped out. They just never guessed it was Lu Chengyu who did it. Listening to them, Lu Chengyu thought to himself, good thing it was just surveillance. Otherwise, a ragtag bunch like them would just be serving themselves up as easy kills. Captain Jin explained. He came by this time to let him know someone wanted to have a word with him. Lu Chengyu was a bit puzzled. Seeing his confusion, Captain Jin clarified. His entire unit is still alive. Scene change. Come evening, Lu Chengyu opened the system panel in his room. Wiping out the vampires did not level him up, but he made a solid haul of gold coins. Nearly 300,000, half of which came from taking down the vampires. But the real bonus was, his levels paid off. He unlocked the bone armor crafting skill. Weapon crafting varies too. With proficiency, he gained more specialized skills. Depending on the quality and type of materials, he unlocked advanced bone crafting techniques. Lu Chengyu gave it a test drive. White bones surged to cover his entire body. In a blink, a suit of armor formed. It was completely flexible and fit perfectly on his frame. More importantly, he could outfit his own summons with this bone gear. With this layer of protection, they could become an even more formidable wall of defense. At the same time, Lu Chengyu also earned a hero-grade crossbow. No manual reloading required for rapid fire. Instant firing without needing to reload. For someone who handles rear-line tactics and long-range suppression, it is a perfect match. Looks like clearing out those vampires really did level me up. Just then, a sudden burst of fire erupted behind Lu Chengyu. The flames were filled with someone calling his name. He spun around, shocked. Inside a house engulfed in raging inferno, two people were screaming for help in agony. Lu Chengyu looked closer. They were his own parents. They were wailing at him. Didn't you say you got stronger? Why are not you coming to save us? Lu Chengyu swiped his hand. Acting purely on instinct, he activated his necromancy. But after extending his hand, he realized he had turned into a little child. Meanwhile, his parents in the fire had crawled right up to him. Terrified, Lu Chengyu turned and ran. Desperate cries echoed relentlessly behind him. Tears welled up in his eyes. Still no good. Looks like I have not gotten stronger at all. Suddenly, a voice called out to Lu Chengyu. He snapped his eyes open. That was just a nightmare. The man had been unconscious for over a day. His parents had been burning in his dreams for a whole day and night. After Lu Chengyu was woken up, Han Hao told him. Captain Jin came back. Turns out, just yesterday, when Captain Jin had invited him, he had turned him down flat. He said if they wanted to see him, they should come themselves. Looks like they were taking him up on that offer for real this time. Lu Chengyu told Han Hao to go on ahead. He would get changed and catch up. Before Han Hao could even step out the door, the guest burst inside in a frantic hurry. The visitor announced he was from the Army's S1 division, mid-level commander. Seeing the way the other guy was practically wetting himself, Lu Chengyu's interest dropped to zero instantly. The two of them walked into the living room. Let us get straight to the point. Cut the games and tell me what you want. He said he already knew it was Lu Chengyu who wiped out the vampire organization. So he wanted him to provide evidence and assist them with their future operations. Lu Chengyu was getting annoyed. Providing evidence is fine, but helping with what exactly? Di Zhonghai pointed at Lu Chengyu and said with an unquestionable tone, just enlist in the army. Hearing this, Lu Chengyu's face darkened instantly. He did not want to deal with him. But Di Zhonghai kept rambling on. He claimed that the country was in a critical moment. It was only logical to draft someone like Lu Chengyu. Furthermore, he promised him a few extra perks. Looking at the guy's smug face, Lu Chengyu felt like giving him a good smack, but he held back the urge. He asked what exactly they needed him to do. Restoring order and recovering territory. Basically, everything except having babies. Lu Chengyu was expected to be involved. Lu Chengyu was completely speechless. Just then, Di Zhonghai told him, there is a guy in Puxi district calling himself an inspector. He actually dared to declare the creation of a guild. That is basically an enemy of the state. Lu Chengyu could not take it anymore. He cut Di Zhonghai off. He already knew about that inspector guy. He did not just rescue citizens, establish a union, but also set up safety zones and defeated field bosses. He is a pretty remarkable guy. However, hearing Lu Chengyu praise the other man, Di Zhonghai got annoyed immediately. People like him are just a tragedy. They need to unite under the military command. The more urgent the situation is, the more you need to follow superiors with a bigger vision. So you must follow our directives to rebuild society. Di Zhonghai's nagging was getting on Lu Chengyu's nerves. He did not think the military had any right to call them guilds. When the monsters descended, the military and the leadership did absolutely nothing. Yet the so-called guilds were the ones protecting the common people. Lu Chengyu did not want to waste any more breath. He made it clear that rather than joining the army, he would rather be a mercenary. Hearing that, Di Zhonghai flew into a rage. He grabbed Lu Chengyu's collar and asked if he was trying to do business with his own country. Lu Chengyu shoved his hand away. Where was the country when the people were in despair? You should know that since that time, the country already lost its meaning to me. As for your invitation, I decline, because I am already used to being alone. This has to be the first guy who ever dared to snap at the Reaper. Di Zhonghai wanted to force Lu Chengyu into service. He even tried using moral blackmail. Lu Chengyu could not be bothered. He just got up and left. But not long after he walked out, Captain Jin came chasing after him. He sheepishly apologized to Lu Chengyu. Lu Chengyu did not blame him. After all, Di Zhonghai is his superior. Soldiers can't just disobey orders. He also knew Captain Jin would not have come out to find him, unless it was Di Zhonghai's order. As Lu Chengyu suspected, Captain Jin rubbed his head awkwardly. To be honest, we really need someone like you. I just did not expect Di Zhonghai to be that pushy. Then he added mysteriously that he had a secret to show him. Scene change. The duo arrives at the parking garage. Han Hao tells Lu Chengyu to wait for him there for a bit. He intends to sneak off and pilfer something classified. Under normal circumstances, getting caught would mean instant execution. But with the soldiers' morale in the gutter, nobody is paying any attention anyway. Listening to what he said, Lu Chengyu feels a wave of suspicion. Even though I saved his life, he would not risk an execution just to steal something for me, right? A moment later, Han Hao returns clutching a box while looking all shifty and suspicious. To avoid being spotted, the two duck into a nearby passageway. The moment the box clicks open, Lu Chengyu is visibly stunned. Inside, there is a glowing crystal. Han Hao tells him, it is called a prophecy stone. Word is, these are scattered all over the world, and they hold the power to foresee the future. Though people do not all see the exact same thing, the visions are pretty consistent. Lu Chengyu's expression turns grim. A rock that shows the future. Sounds like a cheat code to me. He reaches out to touch the stone. Suddenly, a surge of light erupts. You have touched a prophecy stone. You have touched the prophecy stone. Season 2. You have touched the prophecy stone. Season 2. The next second, Lu Chengyu finds himself in the middle of the sky. He looks around and spots a massive bone dragon nearby. Undead creatures crawl everywhere beneath his feet. He even sees versions of himself and Yin Jisho clad in bone armor, while Han Hao has transformed into a puny zombie. Is this supposed to be the future that is coming? Lu Chengyu spots a sorcerer wielding a serrated blade not far away. Is he the boss responsible for all this? Before Lu Chengyu can process any of this, the figure seems to have spotted him. A flash of light streaks out, and his own body starts to burn. The next second, the prophecy stone falls to the ground. Lu Chengyu wakes up with a start. Season 2, The Arrival of Hell. Large-scale update expected on January 1st. Lu Chengyu gasps for air, his heart pounding. He anxiously asks Han Hao if he also saw the undead. Right then, Lu Chengyu receives a special quest. Reward: unlock specialized skill. Reward: unlock 1 specialized blade skill. Reward: unlock 1 specialized serrated blade skill, snatch the Death God's serrated blade. Reward: unlock 1 specialized skill, snatch the Death God's serrated blade. Reward: one-time awakening. Specialized skill. Notice: the location of the Death God's serrated blade will be revealed once you reach level 15. Your choices will determine your fate. Lu Chengyu is speechless. I really have to thank my ancestors for letting me stumble upon this cursed piece of junk. Great. As if I did not have enough on my plate already. Reaching level 15 should not be too hard. The real problem is, there is less than 2 months until Season 2 begins. If I do not get my hands on that Death God's blade before then, won't I end up turning into that thing I saw in the vision? Looks like it is time to go on a fast-track boss hunt. Lu Chengyu asks Han Hao if he knows where any bosses are located. Han Hao thinks for a moment before telling Lu Chengyu. He knows of one location. That place is the biggest headache for the Mediterraneans as well. The Mediterraneans have been planning an operation there for ages, but they could not find anyone skilled enough to pull it off. Lu Chengyu replies calmly, "Go tell them. I will handle this, boss. Of course, this won't be free. I just need a small pile of gold coins, that is all."